This will be the end of treason as we know it. This will be the death of anger, cause we won't show it. Here isn't safe for me, give this a meaning. Do you wanna feel the rush when somebody's listening? Everybody's getting closer to the oven someday. I'll set you free, I promise. There's no time to lose. The world's closing in, and we're still here. We are so what's the rush? Feeling like a dream. Could we be crying for tonight? We're lost but never found. Fear is not around.
John Henry, great businessman, John. Thank you very much.
Harder! Get cake, snakes get slithery. Lean in, show y'all the meaning of chivalry. Rap ruler, you can ask Buddha. Right jab like Zab Judah. Every member of my team is a shooter. Tight like a room, no room for intruder.
Yes, guys, big up everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back in. Oh, knackered. How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing on this Friday evening? I hope you're all doing well. Big up everyone in the chat, man. Thanks for being here. Do appreciate as always. Big up Scraps, big up Paul, big up Eli, big up Baz in the chat, big up Jeremy Helsinki in the chat as well. Big up James as well. Big up everyone, man. Big up to everyone here. I hope you're all doing. I'm doing good, man. I've been ill all last week. My first video back was with James on Wednesday night, and yeah, I'm back again today. So yeah, I ain't been too well the last week or so. It's been pretty bad, to be fair, but we're back now, and we're I'm feeling a little bit better. Well, a lot better. I'm almost back to 100%. Still got a bit of a cough and that, but yeah, better than we were, man. Better than we were. Yeah, and we got loads to talk about, guys. Got loads to talk about. Obviously, we've got the Burnley game this Sunday. Football's back this week. Arsenal, Nottingham Forest in the early kickoff. Forest, and I've got Ange now as their new manager. Weird stuff, man. International break was the most boringest footballing week in the world. Oh, it's just terrible. Watching England is like the worst thing ever. That's why I never watched it. Yeah, it's just crap, man. Yeah, and now we're back to watching the Reds, man. I can't wait, man. Watching the Reds. And look, we're going to smash Burnley up and win 4 out of 4 and continue, man. I'm happy. Big up K-Mac in the chat as well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But hey, is everyone here all good? Let me know how good you are in the chat, guys. And don't forget, guys, channel is sponsored by Match Bingo continuously this season. So make sure you're scanning the QR code on the screen right now. Link is in the description as well. Also, if you are new to Match Bingo and you put in the code CHATS, if you use the code CHATS on your sign up, you'll get a 200% bonus on top of what you deposit. So make sure you check it out. It helps the channel grow. It funds the channel as well. So make sure you check that out for me. Appreciate it. Yeah. So I hope everyone's doing good, man. As I said, we got a lot of chat about. I've been watching a lot of content. I've been watching a lot of Liverpool content the last few days as international break finishes and we get back into doing some serious football. And I've been watching some content lately, and yeah, I've got to stop watching Liverpool content creators. That's what I've learned. Like, seriously. What I've learned pretty much in the last few days, I've just got to stop watching Liverpool content creators. The match, they anger me so much. Honestly, I get so angry watching them sometimes. I'm like, I'll sit there and watch them sometimes. I'm like, do people just say shit to say shit? Are people really Liverpool fans sometimes? Like, what are we doing? What is going on? Like, I don't get it. I've got to stop watching them, man. I've got to stop going on people's channels, and I've got to stop doing all that. I'll get wound up saying rotten, absolutely madness. Some of the takes I've heard in the last few days are fucking balmy, effing balmy. And yeah, man, this is why I do my thing on my own. Yeah, this is why I fly solo for a lot of the time. Obviously, I've got my show, like I do a K-Mac as well, big at K-Mac, and you know, I've got a show I do with James Redman every Wednesday now on the Regular Galactico show, and I've got the Coppish Boys as well. Apart from that, fuck me. No, this is why I fly solo, man. Yes. This is why I fly solo, man. I'm just an angry person in reality. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally just an angry person naturally. And yeah, I get angry, man. And that's sometimes when I'm on a panel show, and like a lot of people say this to me sometimes. They go, Jamie, you're so different on panel shows when you do your own stuff. Like, and like people will comment. I'll say, like, I've done a panel show, and people comment after the panel show and go, Jamie, what the fuck happened there, man? That ain't usually like you. And it's like, I can't hold it in. Do you know what I mean? Some people are really, really good at when they smell bullshit and see bullshit, they can ignore it. I just can't, man. As you guys know, I literally can't. If I hear and see bullshit, I just, I can't. I just have to say it, and it drives me mad, and it makes me look like the bad guy. And I'm like, oh, no. So what I'm doing from now on, I'm only going on people's shows that, you know, I absolutely love, you know, like Sam Coppish, K-Max, James Redman, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I can't be. I just get angry. I get angry, man. I get angry. I'm not very good at this YouTube thing, yeah? Some people are really good at this YouTube game where they're really good with driving the banter and also making people angrily react at the same time because that's what they want them to do. I'm not good at that. I can't do that, man. That's just not me. You know, I like to... yeah, 12th Man's good. I love that guy. I like to talk football. I mean, banter's all fun and good. You know, I have banter with obviously the Coppish Boys and all that because we're all mates and stuff like that. So it's like natural banter, you know, because we're friends. But yeah, I can't do it sometimes, man. I just can't do it. I hear so much. Do you know what it is? I'm such a big Liverpool fan. This might be what it is because you get things like echo chambers and all that, and I'm not an echo chamber or anything like that, yeah. But I can't understand it. I'm a Liverpool fan through and through, yeah. I love this club. You know, call me a top red, bottom red, sideways red, whatever one you want to call me. Don't really care. You know, when people go, hey, you're a top red, Jamie. You're a top red. It's like, what does it mean? Oh, you're a bottom red, Jamie. What does it mean? What does a top red mean, man? I need explanation on this. What does a bottom red? This is just YouTube wording. It's just YouTube wording. Oh, you're such a top red. Typical top red. What? A fan of the football club? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? I'm a fan of the football club, so I enjoy everything about the football club. So that means I'm a top red. And I think that's what, you know, I get annoyed with when I watch other Liverpool content creators sometimes because I'm like, oh my God. It's like, I'm just a massive fan of Liverpool, and I just don't think there's others out there that are. Do you know what I mean? Ali says it in the chat, man. I'm an angry red, man. That's what it is. The Angry Red. That's maybe what I should rename the channel as, the Angry Red. I literally am. I'm a miserable person, man. I ain't gonna lie. I don't like people. Do you know what I mean? I'm not Brock Lesnar, man. I don't like other human beings. do you know what I mean? I'm literally a miserable bastard. That's what I am. I'm literally just a miserable bastard. I don't like other people. It's an introvert when you just like your own. I only like my own, like being by myself, sort of thing. And you know what I mean? That's me. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm just honest. I'm just honest with things. You know, I always have been. Anfield Gender is so hard to watch. I like Anfield. Look, Craig does what Craig does, and no one can copy Craig. And big up to Craig, and he's built a tremendous fan base. So you got to give him all the credit in the world. Is it something I aspire to be like? No, not at all. Not at all. Colin Victor Phillips, you know. I'm just that kind of person, you know what I'm saying? But with Liverpool Football Club, I've got all the love in the world. Like my family, Liverpool Football Club is my family. I love my family. So my family, there's nothing about my family that I hate or unlike or anything like that. I love my family. It's perfect. And when I look at Liverpool Football Club, I look at it in the same way. Do I know, is there things to our club that are not right at the moment? Yeah. Do I think it's a major issue? No. I think too many people go on about things about our football club right now that and make it a major issue that when there ain't a major issue. Like I constantly hear Liverpool don't have a defensive midfielder, and I'm like, oh, they do. Do you know what I mean? You know, every time I either do a live, someone will comment, or when I'm watching other Liverpool content creators sometimes, and people are in the chat and they're talking about Liverpool don't have a DM. I'm like, they do, just not the one you like. Do you know what I mean? And that's where we're at. And this is and this is the same for me, not just in football. It's the same for me in like wrestling or boxing or UFC, MMA, or, you know, movies, TV, anything like that I've got a particular love and interest in. And I hear the narratives all the time about certain things. I'm like, no, what it is, so Liverpool do have a defensive midfielder, yeah? Well, Liverpool have a defensive midfielder. He's just not a defensive midfielder that everyone likes. So what people say is we don't have a defensive midfielder. It's not true, man. We have a defensive midfielder. It's just not a defensive midfielder that person particularly likes. So what people should say is like, we do have a defensive midfielder in Ryan Gravenberch, and I understand he's Liverpool's defensive midfielder, but for me, he's just not the defensive midfielder I want at the football club. And then I can have talks and debates about it. That way I can go, yeah, you're right. All right, fair enough. I hear your point. But when people come out and go, we haven't got one, I'm like, what does Ryan Gravenberch doing? Is he a bin collector? Is he on the dust? Is that what we're doing here? The man's a defensive midfielder. What more? It just drives me bad. I keep hearing this shit. I'm like, oh, drives me mad, man. It drives me mad. Big up the chat, man. I'm here to vent this evening. I'm venting. I'm just getting things off my chest, man. I'm getting things off my chest. I'm venting out a little bit. I'm just venting a little bit. So bear with me. Bear with me. Yeah, I just hear so much crap. And like, yeah, it's like one about like the way Liverpool play, yeah. Like Liverpool's style of play has come up a lot over the international break because people ain't got anything else to chat about, and I get it. It's international break. It's also why I didn't do a lot of videos over the international break. One, I was ill, but two, I didn't want to do any much videos anyway because what we go to chat about, you know, can only chat about Liverpool's style of play every so often because styles of play change in football, don't they? Now, here when I talk about Liverpool's style of play, yeah, when I talk to Scraps, because I talk to people like Scraps and that, who he DMs me quite a lot, and we talk behind, off camera and stuff like that. And me and Scraps don't agree, right, on style of play and all that. But I understand Scraps' point. Like, he comes to me, he tells me about style playing, why he doesn't like it, and he makes actual things that make sense, and I get it. But we don't have to agree, and that's fine. We're still pals. And no one's upset me, Tina. I literally upset myself. Do you know what I mean? I literally upset myself. It's no one else. By the way, if anyone's watching this back and they go, "Oh, Jamie's just shitting on people," I'm not shitting on anyone. I'm not going to name names of people or anything like that. They're not doing anything wrong. These content creators are literally not doing anything wrong, guys. They're great at this. They're great at what they do. It's me getting angry, and that's why I'm saying I can't always go on people's shows anymore, because I just get angry, and then I can't bite my lip. You guys know that. How long you listened to me for? You guys know I can't bite my lip at certain things, and then I just unleash with shit and come out with stuff and makes me look like a dickhead. So again, everyone's doing fantastic, great jobs. I just personally get angry, and I can't move away from it. And it's just like, I even put the live chat away now when I watch people, man. I when I watch people now, I even put the live chat away so I don't type anything or anything like that. So it's me who gets angry, and it's not it's not because they're shit at their jobs or anything like that. They're great content creators. It's me personally. So I just need letting everyone know that, because I don't want to get comments of people going back to people and going, "Well, I think Jamie said that." No, Jamie did. No, everyone's great at their jobs, man. It's a me personal thing. Slots, tactics, and the style of play, I enjoy, right? Jamie the Hulk. I am. I got anger, man. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, big up everyone in chat, though. Everyone doing well, man. I miss the impressions Jamie does, especially the David Coop. Big up Russell, man. Look, I like Liverpool style of play. I like the way Arne Slot plays, and I understand it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I don't mind it so much. He relies a lot of his style of play is trying to play like this is the one thing that angers me. Yeah. So the one thing that does anger me that I see sometimes is people will say, that fucking drives me mad. Oh, Arne Slot hasn't got a style of play. What's Arne Slot's style of play? I'm like, really? Oh, really? Have we got this far now and we don't know what Arne Slot's style of play is? Are we really doing this now? Yeah. It's Dutch football. It's total control. It's what they're wanting to do. It doesn't always work and it doesn't always succeed, yeah, but it's what he's wanting to do. He basically wants to play high octane football. That is what Arne Slot wants to play. It's total domination, high octane football. And it doesn't always work. It doesn't always click, but when it does, it's as good as anything to watch in Europe for me. I don't think Liverpool play well when they play too slow. I think Liverpool are not that kind of team like a Manchester City, where, Pep's style of play at his absolute best is slowing the game right down, playing passes, maybe overplaying the passes, but getting into open spaces and stuff like that, and having a lot of control of a game. And Liverpool are no good at that. When Liverpool try and do that game and try and play like that under Jurgen Klopp, under Arne Slot, whoever's in charge, Liverpool are not best at that. We're not fantastic at slowing it down and trying to play this tick-attacker stuff, playing it out from the back, boom, 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 boom. Sometimes we play well at it, but the majority of the time it's not what Liverpool are best at. We shouldn't try and play like Man City. We are a transitional football team. We play in transition, the same as Barcelona play under Hansi Flick. It's just pure transitional, high octane football, and that's what Liverpool play at. And when Liverpool play like that, they're the best around. You know, and we're the best around. And Arne Slot, basically, you know, being a Dutch manager, he wants total control because that's what Dutch coaches are bred to do: play with total control. And I honestly don't think we have the players in our squad to play total control football, or you know, all the time. There's bits where we can try and play that way of football. Like Liverpool will always usually have a high percentage of possession, and if you look at the territory of where Liverpool are playing most of their football, it's usually in the opposition's half, which means Liverpool are getting a high sense of control in their game. You know, and this is another thing about control. Control of a game can look different. You know, I can see Man City control a lot of the game, yeah? If you watch a Man City game, especially in the early stages of this season, go and watch Man City's 3 games they played this season. If you look at them statistically and you look at the stats, it will say they controlled a lot of their games, yeah? But they've still lost 2 or 3. So they've controlled a lot of games. They've had a lot of possession. They've had a lot of possession in the territory of the opposition's half, which means if you look at it from a stats point of view, they have controlled a majority of that game. But then they've still lost games of football. So Liverpool are still controlling lots of portions of the games they play. But what Liverpool have lost a little bit, right? And that's when Liverpool go 2 or 3-0 up, yeah? Liverpool don't need to go chasing more goals. What Liverpool need to do, and I think what Slot needs to do a little bit more of, is then when we're 2-0 up, right? That's when Liverpool can slow it down a little bit. So Liverpool can slow it down a little bit, keep the ball in midfield, just popping it off, pass. Go back to the centre backs, go back to the full backs, bring the opposition attack onto you a little bit, and then play random and then get them into them, and then get into little spaces in between their midfield and their defence. That's where Liverpool want to play most of the time, yeah. And if you do that, you're controlling the game, right? That's where I think where Slot wants to get this Liverpool team eventually. Slot wants to kill games by an hour. You know, what Arne Slot wants to basically do, he wants to look into a game, go into a game, and after the 60-minute mark, he wants the game to be finished. And that's why we start off like really quick, high tempo, high octane football, yeah? And it can be a bit up and down because he's trying to win the game very early. Win the game early, then you slow it down and you start popping it about in midfield, at the back, trying to find space. That's what he's trying to do. But that's not what we've not clicked in doing that just yet. It will happen eventually. But I like our way of playing, man. I'd rather watch a Liverpool game in the way they play it and a lot of other teams. I hear the pundits all the time, still today, after international break. Liverpool won 3 out of 3 games, yeah? They're the only team in the Premier League with a 100% record, right? And the media still talk about the way Liverpool conceded 4 goals this season, right? What if we play Burnley and Everton and they're still the only 4 goals we've conceded this season? And that's 5 games gone, 6 games gone. And we've still only conceded 4 goals. What do we talk about then? Arsenal have had 2 clean sheets. Liverpool have had 1 clean sheet. So Liverpool are only 1 clean sheet off Arsenal. What if Arsenal beat Nottingham Forest tomorrow, but they concede a goal, and Liverpool beat Burnley but keep a clean sheet? Liverpool would have had 2 clean sheets out of 4 games. Arsenal would have had 2 clean sheets out of 4 games. But Arsenal would have conceded 2 less goals. So Liverpool won the league last year, yeah? Arsenal, on theory, on paper, on the stats, in the number column, will tell you Arsenal conceded less goals than Liverpool, had a better defence than Liverpool last season. By statistically, I can't say that word. Stats wise, it will tell you that they had a better defensive season. But if you go back and actually look at it, Liverpool had more clean sheets than Arsenal up to when Liverpool won the Premier League trophy. So up to that Premier League trophy win, when we beat Tottenham, Liverpool literally had more clean sheets than Arsenal that season. But after that, Liverpool didn't care and went partying and lost some games and conceded goals, and Liverpool didn't give a shit. But before that, Liverpool had more clean sheets, which helped them going on to win Premier League titles. So, yeah, Liverpool are always going to be a little leaky at the back. Yeah? Big up everyone in chat, man. Liverpool always going to be a little bit leaky at the back. And I admit this. Do I want Liverpool to have the best defence in the world? Of course I do. I'd love a situation where Liverpool have the best defence in the world and the best attack in the world at the same time, right? We'd all love that. But I think the era of football that we're playing in right now, it's literally... I think people look at the defensive side of football far too much. How many... If you look at last season, yeah? Champions League was won by PSG, one of the most offensive teams in Europe. Real Madrid, another offensive team, got to the semi-final, lost to Inter Milan. Inter Milan decided to play everyone behind the ball and no attacking against the most offensive team in Europe and got absolutely annihilated in the final. Because they thought sitting back and not attacking was the best way of going and got absolutely annihilated. I think in the team, big up Simon, I think in the way football's played now, it's more on the attacking side of football. Right, on the front-footed end of football, it's about attacks. It's about scoring goals. And what this Liverpool team is doing is building a team that can attack like that. Scrap says, but PSG can control games. They got the midfield to do it. So Liverpool, Scraps. And this is the thing. You put PSG's midfield in a Premier League, I think PSG lose more games than they would do if they played in France, which means their midfield will sometimes get annihilated in our league, if that makes sense. When we played PSG, everyone forgets this, yeah? Out of all the British teams, Liverpool played PSG at the best. But Liverpool were nowhere near their best in them two games. Liverpool were awful. Liverpool were going through a phase where slot didn't rotate, so everyone was dead on their arse. We admitted this, all us fans, we spoke about it the whole time. Liverpool were dead on their arse, yeah? Even I admitted it, and I don't believe in tiredness, but even I said it. They were dead on their arse. Gravenberch could barely run. Salah was dead. Don't forget, in that game at Anfield, Liverpool should have been 3-0 up in 20 minutes. PSG annihilated us at PSG in France, 100%, but we won the game 1-0, yeah? We go back to Anfield. In that first 20 minutes, remember, guys, we all did the game. Liverpool should have been 2 and 3-0 up in that first 20 minutes. Salah missed 2 very clear goal-scoring opportunities, where we should have already put that game, the tie should have been put to bed in within 20 minutes. So I do think as a quality setup at PSG have got and an amazing team they got. If you put their 11 that they play with every week in the Premier League, they would lose more games in the Premier League than they would in France. And then people would maybe talk about their midfield a little bit more. People are not going to talk about their midfield so much because they play in the French league. So they get a little bit more rest in the league they play in so they can be at their absolute best in Europe. So that's where I look at it a little bit more. Maybe I look at it a little bit different like that. And I don't think there's any such thing as perfection. Perfection don't exist. Perfection it doesn't exist at all. Yeah, we got punched up by PSG in the first leg, Scraps, but not the second leg. We're the better team in the second leg. And we should have been through if Salah decided to put his shooting boots on. there's no such thing as perfection. Perfection doesn't exist, man. Yeah, PSG won the Champions League. Good for them, man. They also lost to Chelsea in the World Club Championship. But I guarantee we're going to use the tiredness effect for that, yeah? So this is what's going to happen. Because people love PSG at the moment in their midfield and all that. PSG got annihilated by Chelsea in the World Club Championship final, yeah? People are going to talk about tiredness, right? They're going to talk about tiredness. Right, PSG were tired. When Liverpool played PSG, Liverpool were absolutely knackered and exhausted. And we took PSG to penalty shootout, being absolutely knackered and exhausted. So this is what I'm saying. There's no such thing as perfection. There's no such thing as perfection. I honestly believe if PSG played in England, their midfield would get beaten up quite a few times. I really do. They play in a very league for the level of players they got. Just go completely, smash that league up. Do you know what I mean? They go smash that league up, where Liverpool have to compete in a much harder league. Now, people will then say like, oh, you're just Premier League, just all this Premier League stuff is because you're a Premier League team. You don't watch any other leagues. I do watch other leagues. This is what people get. This is what people keep talking about. Oh, you don't watch any other leagues. You don't do this. You don't do that. Well, it's bullshit. The fact is, the Premier League is the hardest league in the world. I don't care what anyone says. Is it the most technical? Maybe not. La Liga might be the most technical. But Atletico Bilbao, who were fourth or third at the time in the Spanish league, got their absolute arse handed to them by Manchester United. Yeah. So don't give me this La Liga bollocks either. The French league is not great. Okay. Let's just be honest here. That's not bullshitting. It's not a great league. So PSG, yes, they look fabulous because they can rest a little bit more. But I'm telling you, if their team, if they're 11 with that midfield playing the Premier League every year, I don't think PSG win the league. I honestly don't. I think they'd struggle. I think PSG, if you put PSG's team in the English Premier League, I think they struggle for top four. I really do. I think they get the shit kicked out of them. Villa beat the fuck out of them. Everyone forgets that as well. Villa beat up their midfield, outplayed their midfield, bullied their midfield. So this is what I keep talking about with midfield. So the reason I'm bringing all this up and talking about it is because, again, there's no such thing as perfection. I love the way PSG play. Watching PSG is one of my favourite things. It is literally one of my favourite things. I think they're a fabulous outfit. I think Luis Enrique plays with loads of risk, and I love it. I love watching managers set up their team to play with risk, because the way PSG play is risky. Because if you don't keep the ball and one little thing happens, as you see when they do lose games of football, it's because they give away the ball. They can't control. They're very high up the pitch. They put all their attacking talent forward. And they lose. And that's when they lose games. Look at the way Barcelona play. Watching Barcelona is beautiful to watch as well, because Hansi Flick just plays with so much risk. They don't go into games like these managers go into games to win. They go into games to win. They play high up the pitch. They put a lot of attacking talent up the pitch. Look at PSG when they play, yeah. Their fullback is almost a centre forward. Do you know how risky playing like that is, having your fullback almost playing like a centre forward? But they got a lot, as Scrap said earlier, they got a lot of talent in that midfield that can control. Yeah. Liverpool at their best have exactly the same thing. Liverpool have their fullbacks waving forward. They have, 6 to 7 players in attacking positions. 6 or 7 attacking players in attacking positions to play in that way. I like it. I personally like it. I really do. And I know a lot of people don't. They want us to have more control. I don't know what control is. I think control is, it depends how you look at it. Is it more of keep the ball, just keeping the ball, slowing things down? I've already said, I think if that is the case, Liverpool are not great at that, and I will admit it. The game against Newcastle is like that. Liverpool 2-0 up against the 10 men away from home. Slow it down a little bit, just get hold of the ball, knock it about, pop it around, stretch the game out, play really wide because you're going up against 10 men. You got to tire their legs out eventually, stretch it out a little bit, control the game a little bit better from that point of view. Not going to disagree. That's how Liverpool should have played that game in the second half when they got the second goal. Liverpool should have just shut up shop, dropped a man back, dropped the defensive line 5 yards back, just chilled out a little bit, started to control the game for 10, 15 minutes. And you have 10, 15 minutes where you control the game, you make it boring, just popping it about, keeping it nice and wide, running Newcastle's legs tired, running their legs down, getting them tired. And then after 10 minutes or so, you go back to your attacking way of football again. If that don't work, come back, do it again. Stuff like that. Liverpool get better at that. That's what Liverpool will get better at. I have no doubt about that. Arne Slot's a great manager. He's a great coach. He ain't come this far in his short career already with 2 league title wins and a domestic cup winning, for the 2 in the last few years in his 2 different clubs at 2 different countries. He obviously is a coach who knows what he's doing and how to play and how to coach and how to get the best out of players. That's evident. Mo Salah had his greatest ever season under Arne Slot. So there's evidence there that this man knows what he's doing, obviously. But we've got a lot of new players in the team, and things need a gel and things need a click. And things are not great at the moment. I'm not going to sit here and think, we're playing the best football in the world right now. We're not. Liverpool are not playing anywhere near good enough. You know what I'm saying? But is it still football I like? Yeah. Because I tell you why it's football I like, guys. Because I can tell our manager and our players want, as soon as they step on that pitch, they want to win a game of football. And that's what I enjoy. I know, no matter what anyone thinks of the way we play, no matter if anyone thinks of Arne Slot's style or the system that we play or anything like that, I think we can all agree with this right now. Every single one of us can probably agree with the fact that Liverpool, as soon as they step onto that pitch, want to try and win that game of football. They're not going in there afraid to lose, afraid of the result. They're going onto that pitch to get 3 points. And because of that, that's what I mean by I like our style. Is there things in our system that our team needs to click with? Of course there is. We're not quite clicked yet as a team. Players are not performing maybe how they should be performing. But the fact that I know, and you guys know as well, tell me if I'm wrong, but we all know Liverpool against Burnley, Liverpool not enough, you guys will know this. Against Burnley, Liverpool will go on that pitch to try and win that game. Against Atletico Madrid on midweek, Liverpool will go on that pitch to try and win that game. Against Everton next weekend, Liverpool will go on that pitch at Anfield and try to win that game. They're not going to be afraid of it. They're not going to sit back in a way of we drop back a little bit, we let the opposition have the ball. And we work our way into the game and see how it goes. But we're going to keep it nice and tight at the back because we want to make sure, we don't lose this game. Liverpool's thought process isn't like that. Liverpool's thought process is let's get on a pitch and get as many goals as we can. That's their thought process. And because that's our thought process, I actually enjoy. That's why I like Liverpool style play. Yeah. And obviously, there's been talk about people like Wirtz and stuff like that, and and I'll be getting best out of players and all this sort of stuff. And it's been 3 games, man. It's been 3 games. It's 3 games, and then when you play the opposition, I think I think we forgot, yeah. I know Anfield at Bournemouth, Anfield, Friday night, first game of the season. Yeah. Massive Diogo celebrations for that game. Celebration of his lives and stuff like that. Very emotional game of football. I think we also forgot that we played a very good team in Bournemouth. You know, I know Bournemouth have had some of their players taken this summer. So we went into that game, including myself, thinking we're going to whitewash these because they're still a very good side who are coached extremely well. Then we're away to Newcastle. We all thought that's going to be fucking going into the Lions Den, the ISAK derby, all this nonsense people talk about. The Newcastle fans are absolutely outrageous. Like, they're just raging. They hate us. They made it apparent. It was a horrible atmosphere to play in, but we won that game. And then Arsenal, our closest title rivals, it's at Anfield, yeah. But our closest title rivals, what was the talk about the game going into Arsenal? Liverpool there for the beating. This is the chance for Arsenal to go to Anfield to end that, 14 years of not beating Liverpool at Anfield. Here's their chance. Don't let people forget this, yeah? Every single Arsenal content creator said this is Liverpool are finished. We're going to Anfield in the third game of the season to finish Liverpool. Don't let people forget that. Because I think after international break, everyone's forgot about it. Literally everyone. You know, the media, content creators, Arsenal content creators, they've all forgot it now. But Liverpool were meant to get destroyed by Arsenal that game. Liverpool were meant to get embarrassed and beaten by Arsenal in that game. And what happened? Liverpool won 1-0. Liverpool won 1-0. So, although Liverpool have had 3 very difficult games of the season already, it's gone way under the radar and no one's speaking about it. Like, literally no one. 3 very difficult fixtures. And Liverpool have won all 3 games. Now, have Liverpool perfect in them 3 games? Hell no, we've been shit. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. We haven't been good. But what I'll give Arne Slot credit for, Arne Slot is, I think, the best coach in the league right now at mid-game tactics and, you know, adapting in-game. I actually think he's the best coach in the league right now at adapting in-game. He gets his substitutes most of the time are always right. He's not going to be perfect every game. You know, there is going to be games where he makes the wrong substitutions. We've spoke about it before, Community Shield and stuff like that, making the wrong subs. But most of the time, he makes the correct sub at the right time. And his in-game tactics are very good. His in-game tactics are very, very good. And it does go under the radar a lot. I think he's the best in the league at it at the moment. Now, is he the best in the league at it at the moment? Because Liverpool have the best squad as well. That could be a case as well. You know, and this is going to infuriate people now. Liverpool do have the best squad. I don't care what anyone says, man. Do we have the most numbers? WWE confirms WrestleMania 43 being Saudi. Sweet. Do Liverpool have the most players in their squad? No. You know, nowhere near. Like, Liverpool don't have the most players in their squad. But Liverpool have the most quality. And because Liverpool have the most quality, Liverpool have the best squad in the league. It's as simple as that. I can't remember. Like, Pep Guardiola at Man City never had a massive squad. Like, even Man City fans will tell you, when Man City, the best squads that Man City had with Pep Guardiola were actually some of their smallest squads. Was actually some of their smallest, right? City fans will tell you that. Because it's about the quality, not about how many centre-backs I can fit in a squad. It's about the quality of players. And then Liverpool, for me, have the best quality, man. They have the best quality without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. You know, and now it's up to Slot to get the best out of them, man. Exactly. Like, a lot of people keep saying to me, you need at least 22 to 25 to 26 players. Why? Do you know what I mean? We just need like 16 quality players and then we're good. You know, I think we are the fan base that is so obsessed with injuries and what if. I think that is one thing with our fan base. We're always what if. What if Virgil gets injured? What if Salah gets like you can't think like that. Everything can't be what if. Because what if none of them get injured? Then what? Do you know what I mean? Then what? If no one gets injured, then there's not a problem. But we don't think like that. I always think I don't think it's like us here. I think it's more online, maybe Twitter Liverpool fans who think like it the most about, you know, oh, what if, what, like a very negative and drawn out. And I just think people are just batshit crazy at times. I really do. I really do. 22 to 25 plays, you just don't need it. You literally don't need it. Give me 16 quality players and I'm good, man. 16 to 17 and I'm good. Yeah, big up, Colin. Just give me 16 to 17 quality players and we're good, man. We're good. Because not everyone's going to get rotated at the same time as well. That's another thing we've got to remember. What does rotation look like to people? What does rotation look like to everyone? You know, what so rotation to me, guys, is maybe one or two players coming out for one or two. Do you know what I mean? Maybe like a centre back and a midfielder comes out for one game and another centre back and midfielder take their place. That's rotation for me. What's rotation for everyone else? I don't know. I can't speak for anyone else. Are people thinking, oh shit, so and so and so and so and so and so played this game. They can't play this game. We've got to rotate at least 4 to 5 players. That's just madness. To me, rotating 4 to 5 players one game to another game is just fucking lunatic. That to me is madness because how do you get any rhythm? How the hell do you get any rhythm if you're always rotating 3 to 4 players every single game? You won't get any rhythm, will you? You need players to play the majority of games. So Virgil van Dijk, I've heard people say, oh, Virgil van Dijk needs to be rotated and rested this season. And I'm like, why? Why? You know, why do they need to be? Well, like, why does Virgil? Because he's 34. Okay. And, is Virgil going to play League Cup and FA Cup early rounds? Probably not. So there's his rest there. Virgil's probably only going to play Premier League and Champions League games. I don't see Virgil playing many League Cup games. I don't see Virgil playing many FA Cup games either, personally. So if he's not playing them, there's his rest. I've heard people say, right, we got Burnley this Sunday. Virgil don't need to play against Burnley. Can you imagine if Virgil don't come play against Burnley and we lose? What would them people say? No, honestly. Can you imagine if Slot goes, you know what, I'm not going to play Virgil van Dijk and I'm not going to play Mo Salah and I'm not going to play Alisson against Burnley because it's Burnley. It's Burnley away. We'll probably go finish 20th in the Premier League this season, right? So I'm going to decide not to play Alisson, Salah and Virgil. And we lose that game. What does everyone come and say then? Literally, what does everyone come and say if that happens? They'll all moan at Slot, man. So they're all moan at Slot, going, "Why did you rotate them three? Why them three got rotated against Burnley?" Or some people might say, "No, Liverpool got a good enough team to beat Burnley anyway. They shouldn't play. They shouldn't play anyway," which I hear. But go and look at every team in the Premier League, yeah? So let's go City. City, I guarantee you right now, their best goalkeeper and best centre-back plays against Burnley away. Tottenham Hotspur, guarantee their best goalkeeper and best centre-back, if fit, remember, would play against away to Burnley. Arsenal, if fit, best defender and best goalkeeper would play against Burnley away. It doesn't matter. Like Burnley's biggest win of the season, and maybe only win of the season, could be against Liverpool because we rested key players. Yeah, I mean, this is why I don't. The rotational thing, I get. I think rotation is very important now in football, obviously, but it's also got to be used correctly. And for me, it's 1 or 2 in, 1 or 2 out, 1 or 2 in, 1 or 2 out, because you need that rhythm. You know, otherwise you're getting no rhythm. You know, I know people talk about Pep Guardiola not, resting this player, resting that player. Most of the time, his best players play. You know, I think Diaz is considered his best centre-back, and he always plays. You know, before his injury, Rodri played literally every game, like before his injury. So certain players would always play, you know. But, you know, with Liverpool, I think you play certain players all the time, you rotate random. So if Alisson, Virgil and Salah are always playing, fair enough. Rotate random, I'm happy with it. Does that mean they also need to play 90 minutes each week? No, it don't be, Mickey. Do they need to play 90 minutes each week? No, not really. You know, does Virgil really need to play 90 minutes every week? No. I want him to start low, but I really want Virgil to start games, but I'm not sitting here saying he needs to play 90 minutes. Now, if Virgil got injured tomorrow, touch wood, that never happened. Everyone touch wood. But that doesn't mean I was wrong or everyone else is wrong. It's just life. Do you know what I mean? It's just life. You know, you can't stop injuries. But here's one for everyone who thinks this, right? And I've said this already. I said this on Wednesday with me and James talking about it. I'll get your guys' opinion on this. What if resting Virgil now is actually the worst thing you can do because he's 34 years of age? And Virgil plays a lot of football, and he's played a lot of football most of his career. If you go and look at Virgil's career, he's never really been rotated or rested. He's always played. So Virgil's 34. What if you start resting Virgil more, rotating him more and resting him? But because he's played for so much of his life, resting him now at 34 actually does the worst thing and actually makes him more injured than it would be if you played him. Because there could be a thing where I'm going to bring Virgil out of the team now for a couple of games, go let him rest for 2 weeks, then bring him back, and he does a hammy. Because he's so used to playing for his whole career. He's been so used to playing that resting him might actually be worse than letting him play. If you look at people like Maldini and Silva and stuff like that, they always played. Even into their late 30s, early 40s, they always played constantly. Exactly, Scraps. And my man Scraps is with me, man. Centre-backs don't rotate. People just obsessed with this rotation all the time, and I'm with Scraps, man. But what if you rotate Virgil and you take him out for 2 games and he gets injured? You know what I mean? PSG rotate their centre-backs because they play in France. I guarantee you right now, if they played in the Premier League, they wouldn't rotate their centre-backs. Also, their centre-backs are not as good as people like Virgil and Kanate and stuff like that. If Virgil van Dijk played for PSG, he would never be rotated. So one thing I praise Arsenal for, Arsenal are always very good because most of the time Saliba and Gabriel always play. Oh, they are paranoid, man. I'm paranoid at times. Don't get me wrong. We all got that. Virgil didn't get injured because Virgil's muscles gave up on him. Yeah. Virgil didn't get injured because, Paco is crap, Russell. Marquinhos is, he's decent, but Paco's shit, man. But if they played in the Premier League, Russell, do you think they rotate their centre-backs every week? Probably not. I get paranoid sometimes about injuries. it's just a thing with football, ain't it? Like players get injured. How many of our players actually got injured in training more than they did when they played? Exactly, Scraps. Exactly. Remember, Virgil van Dijk didn't get injured because his muscles gave up on him. So you remember it, Johnny. Big up, man. That's so true, man. Yeah. Fabinho started to look like Snoke. That's so right. I remember them days, man. They were funny, man. They were funny. He did run him into the ground as well. He did certainly run him into the ground. But I always, I swear, Fabinho was 30 when we bought him, man. I reckon he was old when we bought him. I still swear that today. Lied about his age, man. Yeah, Klopp rotated his centre backs a lot. The only one he didn't rotate was Virgil. So Kanate and Kwanzaa and Gomez all rotated, but the only one who never rotated was Virgil, man. Yeah, so Virgil never got injured a long layoff because his muscles and all that gave up on him. He got injured because Pickford tried to end his career. That's one thing we've got to remember. You know, Virgil didn't have any muscle fatigue or anything like that, or his hammies went, his calf muscle went, his Achilles went, his groin went. None of his muscles gave up on him. It was literally a goalkeeper that tried to end his career and somehow got away with it, by the way. I still don't believe that. But yeah, like, and this is what the thing, like, everyone's saying we need five centre backs, right? If Virgil's always playing, and like he should, why do we need 5 centre backs? I just think it's crazy. Because it's always the if factor. You can't buy players because of if. That's the thing. You can't go into a transfer window and go, we need this player, and this player because of if. You know, if he gets injured, if he gets fucked, if he gets injured. I just don't know if you can do that. If you can build a squad by ifs and buts. I don't think you can build squads by ifs and buts. You build a squad to win a game, to conquer football. That's what you build squads for, not ifs and buts. Not ifs and buts. And it's also what you do off. Like, there's so much with squads that we don't see as well. Behind the scenes, you know. Like when they show us training footage, you know, when they show us training footage of Liverpool, they only show us like 10-minute video on YouTube. You know, they're not showing us everything. They don't show us everything behind the scenes. We don't know what they're doing in their downtime. We don't look at them when they're not training. They're talking to physios and doctors and how to keep themselves fit, how to keep their muscles, you know, from snapping and shit like that. We don't get that information. The only information we get as fans is what we physically watch. So if there's a game of football, we watch it. If there's a 10-minute training session they decide to put on YouTube, we watch it. Other than that, we don't know shit. And the club don't need to come out and tell us to go, look, Virgil van Dijk goes through this massive physical, you know, therapy behind the scenes. And we talk about this, about injuries. They do this to their diet. They don't eat this no more. They only eat this. And they only don't drink that. And then we only drink this and all this stuff. We don't know. We don't know. So we can't live by ifs or buts, because if we live by ifs and buts, then we need about 30 players, yeah? We need about 30 players if we're going to live by ifs and buts. I've always said it, 2 players for each position is perfect. 2 players for each position, then you use academy players for everything else. That's all you need. Can't live by ifs and buts, man. How big squad's going to be? Can't play everyone. Can't do everything, guys. Can't we? Like, we had 5 centre backs, yeah. Who the fuck is going? So, say we bought a 5th centre back in, right? Joe Gomez is probably going to be 5th choice. How do you tell Joe Gomez, look, you're never going to play because you're 5th choice? Like, why'd you come? Why'd you come to the club? Like, I believe if Mark Gay came to Liverpool, I think Joe Gomez would have left. Personally, I think Gomez would have left. I think Liverpool were teeing up for Joe Gomez to leave. If Gay came in, I think Gomez would have left, and I think we'd have had 4 centre backs. Just if you're a coach who likes to rotate, then yeah, get 5 centre backs, get 11 midfielders, get 7 attackers. I hear you. If that's how you like football, you know, if that's how you like football, and you're one of these fans who, if you was a coach, you would rely heavy on rotation, then cool, I get it, I understand it. You know, go and get your 5th choice centre back, go and get your 11th midfielder and your 7th attacker, and then you can feel happy that you're rotating. But here's the thing: do people want bodies or quality? Because if everyone wants quality, if everyone wants to get quality into the team, how do you tell someone who's quality that they're going to be 2nd choice defensive midfielder and play in rotation? How do you explain that to a player who you go have as quality? Who was Rodri's DM backup for Manchester City, guys? Honest question, because we always look at Manchester City, because we look at Manchester City because of Pep Guardiola, the greatest coach, some people will say, of all time. You know, we always look at awe in that Manchester City team because of the quality players that Pep Guardiola had at Man City. In the last few years, who was Rodri's defensive midfielder cover? No, honestly, honest question. Who was Rodri's defensive midfielder cover in the last few years? Let me know in the chat. I need to know. Who is his defensive midfield cover? Who came in to play defensive midfield? And a defensive midfielder, I don't want to hear this Gundogan stuff and all that. It's not DM. Give me a defensive midfielder that Man City went and bought that was Rodri's backup. Come on, chat. Let me know. Let me know. Chat's gone quiet. Let me know. Come on. What was his DM backup? What was his DM backup? Come on, guys. There's nothing in the chat. What are we doing here? Big up, everyone. There's 170 people in the chat, man. Make sure you're hitting the likes. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're sharing. Make sure you're checking out Match Bingo as well. QR code on the screen. Link in the chat. If you sign up and put chats in, you get a 200% bonus on top of whatever you put in. None. John Stones. So they used a centre back, to invert from centre back into DM. Yeah. So, yeah. Nico Gonzalez, who doesn't play, and they're looking to get rid of. Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips, who I believe is now in Man City's Premier League squad. Am I correct, guys? Calvin Phillips. Guys, it wasn't John Stones. John Stones was a centre-back that inverted into that DM role like Trent did. John Stones was just used there as an emergency, like Scrap said. So, again, the best defensive midfielder in the world never really had a backup. Why didn't Man City go out and buy a quality backup for Rodri? The truth is, because the quality defensive midfielder backup wouldn't play games of football. He wouldn't play because Rodri plays. The best coach and best manager in the world that a lot of people talk about in Pep Guardiola, he didn't really go out and get the next best DM in the world with quality because he wouldn't play. Because Rodri's the best. So the quality level drops down. Calvin Phillips never played. Calvin Phillips was so bad he went on loan. They didn't buy anyone. They got Nico Gonzalez. As soon as Rodri is fit again, Nico Gonzalez has gone goodbye. So he's not going to play games of football. And if he does play games of football, he'll play next to Rodri and have two DMs next to each other. So again, no quality there, man. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, there's no quality. So when you've got quality, like Mo Salah, and this is why everyone keeps telling me all the time, we need to get right wing cover. I've heard people say get Elise as right wing cover for Mo Salah. Could you imagine? Could you imagine going to Michael Elise before he left Crystal Palace? Look, we really want to buy you to come in as backup to Mo Salah. Do you reckon he's going to join? Probably not. Probably not. Mo Salah plays. Who was Messi's backup at Barcelona? I know this is going over the top, but who's Messi's backup at Barcelona? Who did Pep Guardiola go and buy as a quality backup to Lionel Messi at Barcelona? And don't give me a name that was already in the team, like a Pedro or something like that, because he got sold. So, yeah. You know, like, Cristiano Ronaldo don't really have a backup, does he? They bought no one in for Ronaldo. I think there's certain players in squads that don't. It's impossible to buy quality backup to sit behind. You can go and buy good footballers, but we always talk about having quality, don't we? We always talk about having quality. And the fact of the matter is this, and this is where I'm getting to when I talk about, Bojan, who went to Stoke. Do you know what I mean? Bojan, you know. And this is when I talk about, like, and this is where I get to with squad building and what I'm trying to get at here. Sometimes quality players at the highest end of football in their position, it's very hard and difficult to go and get a quality backup for that player just in case they get injured. Because world-class players don't rotate. World-class footballers do not get rotated. The only time they get rested is when they're injured or suspended. That is literally it. World-class footballers play every single week. I have never watched or seen a world-class player get rotated regularly. There might be one or two times that it happens, but it's not a regular thing. World-class players play week in, week out most of the time. And that's what, and that is now I've got your super chat here. I'll get to John's super chat in a minute. Big up, Mr. Conway. I've got your super chat, man. Don't worry. I started it. And that's what I'm trying to get to. So a Mo Salah replacement right now, I don't know who you go and buy as a backup to Mo Salah, where the quality comes in, doesn't affect the team. Virgil van Dijk, big up Trigger. Virgil van Dijk Virgil van Dijk is just not a world-class centre-back. He's the best centre-back in world football by some distance right now. No, like some distance. He sits up here. Everyone's below him. So to get a centre-back that's going to come in to be a quality backup to Salah, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be to Virgil van Dijk is very, very difficult. So when I always hear, if Liverpool lose Virgil van Dijk, if Liverpool lose a Mo Salah through injury, if Liverpool lose an Alisson through injury, and all this sort of stuff, they're not going to be as good. Yeah, correct. Because the quality of play that comes in to replace them are not world class. I could get a very good defender to come in to replace Virgil if he got injured, yeah? But he's not a world class centre back. Otherwise, he wouldn't be backup. So that backup's got to be good, but he's not world class. So again, Liverpool will not look as good because you're taking a world class player out of your team for a very good player. Mo Salah gets in, not maybe this season because Salah's not kicked on this season, but talk about last season's Mo Salah. You take last season's Mo Salah out for any other backup right winger that ain't Lamine Yamal, then Liverpool aren't going to be as good because you've taken a world-class talent out and the backup is never going to be world-class. He's going to just be very good. So all these times you hear, oh, Liverpool lose him, Liverpool lose him, Liverpool lose him, they're not going to be as good. You're correct. Because world-class players don't have world-class backups, because who's ever had a world-class backup? It's very difficult to do. Now, there's other players in positions we got in our team that you can rotate with because they're not world-class and the quality can be quite even. You know, you could have even quality for Szoboszlai's, McAllister's and Gravenberch's in the world, right, in our midfield, because none of them are world-class footballers, yeah? So you can have an equal pairing of midfielders on the bench that can come in and do a similar job, and we keep at a similar style and a similar profile. But rotating world-class players is just too difficult to do, guys. It really is, and that's what I'm trying to say. So when people try and tell me, right, rest your Virgils and all that, can do it, go for it, but you're taking a world-class player out of our team for just a good defender. Don't make sense to me. But if you want to rotate a McAllister with somebody, go for it. I hear that. That makes sense to me, because you're bringing on someone who's equally just as good off the bench or whatever to rotate with and move around. Like, you could have a, right, say McAllister starts a game and Szoboszlai's on the bench, yeah? And for the next game, Slot decides to rotate Szoboszlai for McAllister. Is there really that much of a drop there in performances in our midfield? Probably not, because they're quite equal. I know people hate this because there's a lot of people in the world that think McAllister's world class. I personally don't, right? I don't think there's much difference between Szoboszlai and McAllister. People, I know I'm not on the Sam's channel, so I might get away with saying this. You know, I honestly believe McAllister and Szoboszlai are quite equal in talent. Right, McAllister's a better technician and he's a technician of a footballer, but talent-wise, I don't think there's much between them. So if Szoboszlai comes in and rotates with McAllister, then the team's not going to change too much. At this moment in time, if I'm taking Joe Gomez, if I'm taking Virgil out to replace him with Joe Gomez is a good defender, but the team will change a little bit because Virgil's world class. That's where I'm trying to come in from. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm trying to come in from. That's where I'm looking at. Like, you can rotate Cody Gakpo and Ekitike because neither of them are world class and they're quite similar quality footballers. One can come in and one can come out and not a lot changes. Yeah? Because they're good, right? That's good rotation because they're both equally just as good as each other. My whole thing, rotation, world-class footballers play every single week because they're world-class. They don't get rotated. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I go with that, man. Want to talk quickly about style of play and stuff like that. And Van Bronckhorst in now. Who's been an excellent bit of business by Liverpool getting Van Bronckhorst in. Van Bronckhorst doesn't have a lot to say because he's the assistant's assistant. Do you know what I mean? He's not like the second in line. That's thingy, I can't remember his name now, who sits next to Arna all the time. But he's an assistant's assistant. You got that Brazilian guy in there who does a lot of individual training. I can't remember his name. Someone remind me. So we've got this Brazilian coach who's come in who does a lot of one-on-one training as well. So you got good coaches that are coming to the team now. You got Wirtz, who at the moment is playing too deep. You know, you got Wirtz, who at the moment is playing a little bit too deep for my liking. He needs to play a little bit more higher up the pitch because Wirtz is a natural number 10. Yeah, he's as natural as a number 10 as you can get in football. Yeah, and what Liverpool are doing, they're just dropping him a little bit too deep at this moment in time. What Wirtz likes to do, Wirtz likes to play high up in the 10, right? and he likes to float around. He likes to have a free roam of the game, right? He likes to be able to go out and to the right, out to the left, out into the central attacking areas, dropping down a little bit. So he would look like he's all over the place if you looked at it. You know, that's what Wirtz is. In an out-and-out number 10, it's a natural number 10, but you also got to give him a bit of free license to be that natural number 10. Eminem says, don't tell K-Mac that, Jamie. What do you mean, don't tell K-Mac that? Well, what does K-Mac think he is? What? Well, what else is... What? Don't tell K-Mac that, Jamie. Well, what does K-Mac think he is? Big up my man, K-Mac, man. I don't know. Well, I haven't seen any of K-Mac shows lately, but I don't know what K-Mac said. Let me know. Yeah, it's a natural 10 who operates in freedom. So when he was at Bayer Leverkusen, what people have got to remember, yeah, when you're signing a player, you're looking to play with talent, yeah? A left winger. He ain't a left winger, he's a number 10. What are we doing here? I love K-Mac. K-Mac, you know I love you, man. But no, he's not a... he's not a left winger, man. His heat map shows that he's a left winger. No, it don't. I've looked at his heat map. His heat map shows that he's a... Look, so Thierry Henry was a number 9, yeah? Thierry Henry was a striker, right? And if you look at Thierry Henry's heat map, Thierry Henry's heat map would look very left-sided, right? But he's a striker. I hate heat maps. Heat maps are bullshit. It don't tell you anything. It just tells you where players like running around. That's all. Like my heat map would show you me running up and down the stairs constantly, yeah? Just because that's where I'm spending most of my time is running up and down the stairs. You know what I'm saying? Like heat maps just show players where they like to run. It doesn't show them the positions they should be playing in. People naturally go left or right as a footballer. You know, me as a footballer, I was a central midfielder, yeah? I was a central midfielder, but I would naturally prefer to play on the right-hand side of a central area because I'm right-footed. So I would cover a lot of the central and right-sided of the pitch, yeah? So that would be my positions. So if you looked at Jamie Phillips's heat map when he was playing football, my heat map would show you that I like to lean to the right, yeah? Not politically, but I'd like to lean to the right, and a lot of my heat map will be on the right-hand side because I like naturally go over to that side of the pitch. You know, Ekatike, like the reason a lot of people... Heat map is your chair, Jamie. Like a lot of with Ekatike, when you watch Ekatike, his heat map will show you that he maybe touches off the left-hand side quite a lot, because you know that's where Ekatike finds himself more comfortable in left-hand side space. Doesn't mean he's a left winger. Do you know what I mean? The same with Henry. Henry was a striker, but he liked to cover the left-hand side of the pitch. I think on Wirtz's heat map, like I've just looked at Wirtz's heat map right now. I mean, like, yeah, look, with Wirtz's heat map, it basically shows me a player that's got more free room to play in, right? I don't know why we're talking about heat maps and all that. Again, I don't know, like, big up my man K-Mac, but I didn't watch K-Mac show, so I have no idea. But, and everyone's entitled to their opinion, by the way. Do you know what I'm saying? In that central area, but Jay, we do have players tending towards the left, Wirtz, Ekatike, ISAK, and Gakpo. Cool. That means they can all build together over on that left-hand side. That's nice. What's the problem? I don't get what the problem is. That's wicked. Awesome. So they can build up on that left-hand side. The thing is, when you're playing a game of football, you got 11 players, yeah, 10 outfield players. Yeah, you want some of them players to have a lot in common and link up on sides of the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, you're going to be shit. And having... Like, Wirtz can play left wing, there's no doubt about it, but his best position is a number 10. He's even said it himself. He likes to play the number 10. When you watch Wirtz at Bayer Leverkusen playing the number 10, he played with a lot of freedom because one, the league they play in, and two, Alonso played free at the back, so you could play with much more freedom because you got wing backs, which means the pitch is wider. That's another thing you got to make sure you remember. When you're playing free at the back and wing backs, you're playing with lots of width on the wide hand sides of the pitch, which means the pitch in the middle is stretched out more, which means Wirtz in Germany picks up more spaces in central and left-sided positions because the pitch is stretched out more. In the Premier League, we play a lot more narrow. So we play a lot more narrow in our league. Liverpool do anyway. We play a lot more narrow. We don't play that width. Our wingers are inside forwards. You know, they don't want to play. You know, Gakpo and Salah don't like being touch tight. They like to be in a wide position and cut inside. So if you've got your wide forwards cutting inside all the time, you're narrowing the pitch down, so you're making it nice and small. So Wirtz isn't getting the room at the moment to do what he did in Germany. Do you know what I mean? But we signed Wirtz for a reason. And the reason we signed Wirtz is not because of what he can get GA-wise, what he got in Germany. It's how good he is as a technician. You know, Wirtz is extremely talented at, you know, dropping the shoulder, getting his first touch is immaculate. Them little 3-yard passes that opens up the pitch and stuff like that. That's what Wirtz is amazing at. You know, Wirtz is never going to be able to perform in the high way he did, like he did in Germany to England, because it's a different tempo and a different way of playing. You get a lot more space in Germany. You've only got to watch one game in Germany, yeah. And the transitions in Germany. German football's all about transitions. That's what German football's all about. It's all about transitions. They all play high line. No matter what team you play in Germany, they all play high line. High line, transitional, pressing football. That's what it is in Germany. So what ends up happening in Germany a lot of the time is attacking players get a lot of room. You know, I remember when we signed Wirtz. Do you remember when we signed Wirtz, guys? And I did that big up show. When we did a video, we watched the videos of Wirtz's performances in Germany. And he always had the ball in the box with no one around him. Like, no one was touch tight. No one was on his case. No one was smashing into him. He always had, like, he could touch the ball like 2 or 3 times inside the box before he got shot out or a pass out. That's very unlikely to happen in the league we're playing. So, yeah, you're not going to always see... But what managers see, they see Wirtz and went, right, we'll buy him because of his technical ability. He's technically superior to a lot of players we got. And if he does find the space, he's going to kill people because he's got that pace to get away from you. He's got a great shot on him, and he can dribble and go round players as well. So that's what they looked at him for. What I like about him, when he does play higher up the pitch, it's his technique around the box. It's that one touch he's got. It's that vision he's got. It's that ability to, if he's got 2 players around him, he finds a pass that opens up the whole game that no one else on the pitch can do. That's what Wirtz is great at. And the more he does that, the better he's going to get. Does he play too deep at the moment? Yeah, he plays too deep at the moment. You need to get him higher up the pitch. And once he gets higher up the pitch, he will. You know, and here's the thing. If you want Wirtz to play off the left, I hear it. I've already said it. I think occasionally you can play Wirtz left wing. Got no problem with that. But the problem is, when you've got a winger in Cody Gakpo who likes to do that run and then cut inside that way, where does Wirtz go? Where does Wirtz go? Because then Cody's taking up Wirtz's positioning. So Wirtz has either got to make a run back into the left side channel and take the left wing option up, right? Or he's got to drop deep, or he plays alongside Cody and picks the ball up on the edge of the box. But that's when Ekitike likes to drop back and pick up the ball. Hence the goal against Newcastle. Cody Gakpo got the ball. Remember, second half, man. Cody got the ball, ran down the wing, cut inside, tried to get a shot off, couldn't get the shot off. Who did it rebound to? It rebounded to Ekitike, who was on the edge of the box. Remember, Ekitike started that move. Ekitike dropped deep, picked up the ball, passed it off to Cody. Cody cut inside, took the shot, blocked off. Ekitike picks up the ball and strikes. Yeah? In reality, that's where you want Wirtz. But the problem is, when Cody cuts in and your main striker's dropping deep, Wirtz has got to find room somewhere else. So Wirtz, what he has to start doing is making runs in behind Ekitike. So if Ekitike's playing and Ekitike drops deep, Wirtz has to make his run past him. Wirtz has to run past Ekitike as soon as he drops in. That's why I feel like when ISAK starts playing as our main striker in a few weeks' time, because he won't start games for a while, but when ISAK does start games and he's playing as our main striker, I think you'll start to see the best of Wirtz because he'll have more room in the final third. Wirtz loves to pick up the ball in between the midfield and the defence. That's where he loves to pick up the ball. He loves that. So if he can pick up the ball in that midfield, in between the midfield and defence side of things, he's going to flourish. You know, there's no doubt about that. He's going to flourish. And I think ISAK will help that because ISAK will want to play off the shoulder of strikers. You know, ISAK will want to make that run in behind more than Ekitike does. Ekitike likes to make that run in behind, but he also likes dropping deep and picking up the ball. With ISAK, he'll be stretch it a little bit more, allowing Wirtz to just glide into that position where he needs to play. So I'm not too worried with Wirtz so far. I thought Wirtz was very good in the second half against Arsenal. I don't think anyone spoke about that enough. But if you looked where Wirtz was playing against Arsenal, he was in that high central. He was actually more to the right in that game. And he was getting shots off. But yeah, with Wirtz, guys, don't worry. Can he play off the left wing? Yeah, K-Mac's got a point. He can play off the left wing. I don't think it's his natural position. His natural position is more the 10. But you've got to give him a free role. You've got to give him a free role. You've got to free him up a little bit. If you don't free him up a little bit, that means he's you're not going to get the best out of him in the positions that people want him to play in. Big up K-Mac, man. But yeah, I think everyone's trying to think if everyone's playing their position. So yeah, I think everyone's playing. The only player I would say so far that we've bought that's not playing their natural position is probably Kerkez. Kerkez is a very attack-minded left back, but we're trying to keep Kerkez defensively a little bit because, you know, the way we push on in an attack. I think Frimpong playing at right back, he's getting forward loads when he plays right back. You know, he attacks past Mo Salah a lot of the time. He gets in behind Mo Salah a lot of the time. He even underlaps Mo Salah and gets into the edge of the box and tries to get shots off as well. We've already seen that in the 2 games that he played. So I think Frimpong's fine. Now, it's a little bit of a difference. Obviously, Leverkusen play 3 at the back and we play 4 at the back. So naturally, his starting position is going to be a little bit deeper than his starting position for Leverkusen. That's one thing you got to remember with him. I don't know what Frimpong's heat map looks like, but I'm sure Frimpong's heat map will look all right-sided, all down the right wing, sort of like a right winger. But his starting position will also be different. You know, his starting position for Bayer Leverkusen is going to be much higher up the pitch. His starting position for Liverpool is a lot more deeper because he's playing more as a natural right back. For Leverkusen, you know, he played more of a natural right wing back. So his starting position being more an attack-minded situation. But then Leverkusen didn't really play with a right winger, you know, like Mo Salah. You know, Mo Salah's a right winger. You can't have Frimpong standing next to Mo Salah. Do you know what I mean? That'd just be ridiculous. You'd have no right back. Do you know what I mean? So I'm fine with Frimpong. I think Kerkez is the one. I'm trying to think of all the players we signed. Are they playing in their natural positions? I think the only one who isn't maybe is Kerkez, you could say. You could say that right now. Yeah, I would say that. I would say that because we don't really allow our left back to get down the pitch to get crosses in, do we? I will. If I'm thinking about it, that's probably the one. You know, I think Frimpong's got down the right wing. You know, before Frimpong got injured, he was getting down the right wing and getting crosses in. But with Kerkez, I don't think he did. I'm trying to think if Kerkez is actually He didn't cross the ball against Arsenal, did he? And the 2 performances before that were terrible. So, yeah, I would say probably Kirkes is the one we're not using correctly right now. Wirtz, we're not using completely correctly either because he's playing too deep. That's his problem at the moment. He needs to push him up a little bit. Need to push him up the pitch a little bit. That's what I would say. You know what? I'm just going to look at something a minute. I'm very interested in this Wirtz discussion. Do you know what it is? It's you guys are saying K-Mac said he played left wing. It's making me think is that where he was always played. I know he can play left wing. Maybe I'm wrong, man. Played 4 games in the 10 position. Let me have a look. All right. So in his career, in Florian Wirtz's career so far, he's only played 9 games as a left winger. He's played 163 games as the number 10, 4 games as a second striker, 11 games as a centre forward, 11 games as a right winger, and 5 games as a central midfielder. His main role has been the number 10 position. He's only played 9 games as a left winger. Interesting. I think that's why he plays left wing for Germany, don't he? And he always looks shit for Germany when he plays left wing. You got to remember as well. Look, a lot of players play out of position sometimes when they play international football because they want to get all their players in, don't they? So, I'll just show you guys this. Because I'm being look, guys, 9 games at left wing. You can see it there in the stats. Played 9 games at left wing, 2 goals, 3 assists. But most of his goals and assists are coming in that number 10 position, the attacking midfield position. There you go. See it there. Heat maps are a weird thing, guys. Yeah, you can see it there, guys. He's played 163 games as an attacking midfielder. He's actually played more games in club football at right wing than he has left wing. He's actually played more games at right wing. So what it is with Flo, guys, and big up to K-Mac, man, because K-Mac's good at all his stats and all that. He's better than me at it. I know that. What it is with Wirtz, I would say he leans to the left again, not politically, maybe politically, but he leans to the left. Yeah, like he likes to take up left side space from a number 10 position. That's what he likes to do. He likes to take up left hand space. So what you really need, see again for Bayer Leverkusen, he played with a left wing back who was stretching the pitch on the other side. So what it means, he had a lot of more room to play higher up the pitch and take over them left-hand side positions because, he has a wing back instead of a fullback. I don't know. It's an interesting one. I'll have to go and watch K-Mac show, man, because K-Mac shows are good. Make sure you go and subscribe to K-Mac, guys, as always. I think K-Mac was in the chat. But yeah, K-Mac, if you're in the chat, man. I'll have to go and watch his video. You guys don't go and watch his show. I'll go and watch his show. I will watch his show. I'll watch his show, man. I'll watch his show. Much love to K-Mac, man. I'm live with K-Mac in a little bit, actually. So, be up, my man. Flow charts just show where players run and stand in games. Concerned we didn't replace Diaz, but intrigued to see what Slot does. Yeah, I hear that. Do you know, I don't use things like heat maps and that a lot. One thing I'm just watching. Sorry, hang on. Just one thing. watching a K-Mac's right though. I'm listening to K-Mac now on this show. Be out K-Mac, man. He is right what he's saying. Like we're not using wirtz correctly. He is correct with that. I ain't gonna lie there. He is correct. He is playing too deep. No, he's right. Big up K-Mac, man. Great show. Guys, go and subscribe to K-Mac's channel if you're not subscribed already. What are we doing here? Go and subscribe to my man. It's a great... I'm going to say one thing. K-Mac, if you're still watching, man, I have never seen K-Mac so passionate and about players in their positions, man. Big up K-Mac, man. Big up K-Mac. He's actually right, though, what he's saying. We ain't using him right at the moment. You know, we ain't using him right. But I do believe, like me personally, I believe he's a number 10. That's just me. You can play wirtz left wing. Of course you can. If you let Kirkes overlap. Yeah. Again. Big up Malcolm, man. Go and get ready for the derby in 2 weeks. Come on, you toffees. Big up Malcolm. You can play wirtz left wing. And I think we will in games as well. There's no doubt about it. Again, you've got to remember wirtz came from a team that mostly played 3 at the back with wing backs. It's very different to them playing in a team that plays 4 at the back with 2 full-backs, 2 centre-backs and 2 holding midfielders. It's a lot different. It's a lot different in the way we set up and play compared to the way Bayer Leverkusen set up and play. But yeah, I think you're right. You can play him left wing. But one thing I will say is big up K-Mac, man. It's a good shout by K-Mac last night on his show. Great shout. And I think he's right. We're not probably getting the best out of wirtz yet. Big up, man. What have we got in the chat, man? Oh, yeah, I forgot John's super chat, man. Big up, John. Sorry, man. Jane, what do you think of Liverpool's new third kit? I absolutely love it, but I do like the black goalkeeper shirt. I ain't gonna lie, man. That is a sweet kit. Sometimes as a 10, it's part of a double 10 system. He covers the left side of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sometimes Bayer Leverkusen were a bit offensive and they played with like 2 10s sometimes, like a sitting 6 and 2 10s. And wirtz would be the left 10 and there'd be the right 10 and the striker. But he can play left wing, man. There's no doubt about that. He can play left wing. Kirk has been used as a centre back. Yeah, I agree. Kirk has definitely not been used correctly. That's why that's what Robbo did last season, too close to Virgil. That's why he made a mistake to lead to the goals. Yeah, definitely. Although, obviously, he has to do better. I think we can agree he has to do better defensively for them mistakes as well. He was more of a left attacking midfielder than a left winger for them. Yeah. Exactly, because it depends where you like. wirtz obviously likes to lean more to the left-hand side, right? But when you play wirtz high at the pitch in a team that plays 4-2-3-1, and you got a left winger like Cody who doesn't play on the outside. If we had a left winger that played on the outside and was a touch tight winger, played on the outside, like take fullbacks on, get crosses in, wirtz would have more success playing in them pockets where on that left attacking midfield area. But because Cody likes to come, Cody and Mo both like to cut in. So as soon as they both cut in, what you're doing, you're narrowing the game down, which means wirtz needs to find pockets of space where he's going to pick up the best positions to get the best out of the way he wants to play. I keep saying it. I think wirtz needs to play higher up the pitch. We play him too deep. It's as simple as that. He's playing too deep right now. You know, the game the other day against Arsenal, McAllister was running off wirtz It should be the other way round. It should be Wirtz running off McAllister. Like Wirtz had the ball in a deeper position, and McAllister ran off Wirtz into the attacking third, and then Wirtz made a pass to McAllister. It should be the other way around. McAllister should be having that ball. Wirtz should be making the run off McAllister into the final third and getting the pass from McAllister. So I think with Wirtz right now, that's where Liverpool are making a little bit of a mistake. But yeah, make sure you go and watch it. I'm going to watch K-Mac's video later, man. Big up K-Mac. K-Mac will be back on the show soon. We'll get K-Mac back on the show as well, man. Killing it. Killing the game right now, K-Mac is. Go and check out his channel, man. He's done great this summer. He's growing his content massively. I've got love for the guy. As I said before the show, man, there's only a few people that I like to do work with right now, and K-Mac's one of them guys, man. K-Mac, the Coppish boys and all that. James Redman, all these people. They're the guys I like to work with the most right now. So go and check them guys out, man. We obviously have got Burnley on Sunday. Are we looking forward to the game? And does ISAK make his debut? I don't think ISAK starts Sunday's game. I know a lot of people want him to start. I want him to start badly, man. I want him to start badly. I just don't think he will. Mohamed Ashreli in goal Sunday? Nah, be Allison, man. I don't think McAllister will start. I think McAllister's played 2 games in a row, something mad like that. Someone will have to let me know. I think it's 2 games in a row. I think it's 2 games in a row. Someone will have to let me know. For Argentina. He's going late, flying back in. Yeah. I think Conor Bradley comes back into the right back position. And I think Szoboszlai goes and plays in the double pivot with Gravenberch. I think that's what we'll play. I think it'll be Gravenberch. I think Conor Bradley will play right back, Konate, Virgil, and Kirkes, and then Allison in goal. And then the midfield, I think, will be Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and Wirtz, Salah, Ekitike, and Cody Gakpo. I think that'll be the 11. I think ISAK will get 20, 25 minutes off the bench, something like that. Mays, Allison, Bradley, Konate, Virgil, Kirkes, Szoboszlai, Grab, Wirtz, Gakpo, Salah, Ekitike. Yeah. Yeah, Curtis Jones is injured. Curtis Jones got injured in the last game, didn't he? If Curtis Jones didn't get injured in the last game, I'd have actually maybe played Curtis alongside Gravenberch for this game as well. Yeah, get your 11s in the live chat, guys. Get your 11s in the live chat. Ali, Bradley, Ibu, Virgil, Kirkes, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Gakpo, Wirtz, Salah, Ekitike. I think we're all going. Allison played at high altitude, and so did McAllister, I believe. I think a few top players played at quite a high altitude. I think the same Bradley back in. Yeah, I think Bradley will come back in. Bradley's been fit a little bit longer than Frimpong because Bradley was training in the Arsenal game. Bradley was doing some training before the Arsenal game, weren't he? So, yeah, I think Bradley, Bradley's a little bit ahead of schedule than Frimpong is right now. So, I think Frimpong will be on the bench. Frimpong will be excellent off the bench as well, especially if Mo's not doing it. You can bring Frimpong on and put him in right wing instead of Mo. But I think Bradley. I keep saying it. I mean, I think Conor Bradley is Arne Slot's number 1 right back. The problem with Conor Bradley is he keeps getting up injuries. Conor Bradley's never played 10 games in a row. I need Conor Bradley to play 10 games in a row. As soon as he's done that, he's going to be killing it. But unfortunately for Bradley, Bradley played for Northern Ireland. Bradley was excellent against Germany for Northern Ireland. I don't know if anyone saw that game, but yeah, I think it was Germany. He was really good. Bradley's a quality player, man. Bradley's issue is that he just keeps picking up injuries. If Bradley can stay fit and keep playing, I think Bradley will be number 1 right back. I really do. Slot's already made it apparent that he believes Frimpong's his backup right winger and right back. He's basically said Frimpong can play anywhere down the right-hand side. So if Frimpong needs to play right back, he will. If he needs to play right wing, he will. This is what's going to be interesting. Frimpong and Bradley are both fit. They're both ready to go. They're both fit and ready to go. It'd be interesting to see who he picks as right back. Because of McAllister, I don't think McAllister's completely fit. And, you know, Slot, the last 2 times, I believe, after international duty, he's not started McAllister in them games. I think McAllister holds bench. I think Szoboszlai plays in the midfield alongside Grav. And I'll be so interested to see who picks as right back. I just feel like Connor Bradley might be a bit ahead of Frimpong at the moment. So, yeah, I'd like to see Connor Bradley just get a few games in a row, like Ali says in the chat. If he can just get 5 games in a row, just to boost his confidence a little bit. Because I think Connor Bradley's a quality player. It's just injuries, man. I think if Connor didn't have injury problems, Connor would have played loads of games in a row now. Yeah, that's a shout. Good shout. 60 minutes for Connor, 30 for Frimpong. Great shout. That's probably something that'll happen. I think they'll probably both get minutes in this game. Allison, Marmadashvili for Allison's a shout by Mickey earlier, you know. It was a good shout. I just don't. I think Allison and Virgil and Salah are almost nailed on to play. Almost nailed on to play. So our bench tomorrow on Sunday could be mad. Our bench on Sunday could be Marmadashvili, Frimpong, McAllister, and Alexander Isak. Maybe a Joe Gomez, a Robbo. Who else? And a Chiesa. That could be our bench, you know? It was only a couple of weeks ago when everyone said our bench was shit. Our bench literally could be that on Sunday. Marmadashvili, Frimpong, McAllister, Isak, a Robbo, a Chiesa, a Gomez. I mean, that could be our bench. A Rio, as MM says it there. You know, Rio could be on that bench as well. That... You know, and that's a strong team out. You know, and on the pitch is strong as well because you've got Allison in goal, probably Connor Bradley, Virgil, Frink, and Kanate and Kirkes, McAllister, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, Wirtz, Ekatike, Gakpo, and Salah. So the bench is not good because the team's not good on the pitch. The bench is going to be quality because the squad's quality now. That is the best bench in the Premier League, if that is the bench. You've got Endo to go on there as well. So quality players are going to be left out, man. You can't even have quality players left out. That's how good the bench is getting. That's how good the bench is getting right now. Interesting. Yeah, it'd be nice for Rio to get minutes. Marmadashvili, Gomez, Endo, Maka, Robbo, Frimpong, Chiesa, Isak, Rio. Look at that for a bench, man. That's mad. It's a mad bench. Mama, Maka, Frimpong, Isak, Gomez, Rio, Robbo, strong. It is, man. Be up, Bill. Go rest, Jamie. You must be tired. No, I'm good, man. I'm good. Be up, Bill, though. In the next 2 windows, we might be adding Walton, Gay, Rogers, and Elise to that. Well, so did anyone see that article today that was put out? Let me, before we go, let me talk about this because this is an interesting article. Great conversation today, guys, by the way. Great conversation today. Breaking Triple H and Turkey Al Sheikh just announced that WrestleMania 43 is heading to Saudi Arabia 2027. Wow. Interesting. Right, what am I trying to find here? Right, how many people are you watching on Twitter right now? There's 796 people watching on Twitter as well right now, by the way, on X, whatever you want to call it. Big up to everyone on X. As I said, there's almost 800 people watching on X right now. So, yeah, big up to everyone watching on X right now. Make sure you're retweeting the video, sharing the video on X as well, guys. Make sure you repost it. Get in the comments as well. Big up to everyone there. Almost 800 people watching on X right now. So they were talking about Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes view the recent window as a one-off in terms of how much needed to be addressed. They believe they have future-proofed the squad, and the kind of spending spree witnessed this summer will not be needed to be repeated. Now, a lot of people saw this, obviously, and reacted as people do, yeah, without actually reading it properly. So let me get this tweet up. I'll share it on the screen with you guys. So there it is there. So Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes view the recent window as a one-off in terms of how much needed is to be addressed. That's the thing you got to look at there. So a lot of people are commenting about this. They're going back to the original FSG now, this and that, and Liverpool going back to the way they used to be. No, it says there how much needed to be addressed. It's not that Liverpool won't have big windows where they spend a lot of money. It's the fact how many players they needed to address this window. Liverpool went out this window and bought like 7 or 8 players in this transfer window and sold a load of players. That's what it's meant by. So next summer, if Liverpool only need 3 players, Liverpool will buy 3 players. But it's not going to look like a massive transfer window compared to the window that we just had. It's about reading these things, yeah, and reading what's there and reading in between the lines. Liverpool next summer could go and get a Walton and a Elise, yeah. Liverpool next summer could just go and buy Walton and Elise, and that could be their summer. And people will go and people will look at that and go, "Whoa, we only bought 2 players this summer, but they're quality players." Adam Walton and Elise, that could still be £170 million there spent on them 2 players alone. Again, it's a big transfer window, but it's not a lot of players. And that's what I think this is meant by. Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes saw this summer as the perfect summer to reboot the team. To get rid of all the deadwood and to get rid of players that didn't want to be here, sell them on, and then buy quality in to replace them at a young age. We haven't gone and bought 30-year-olds and 28-year-olds and 29-year-olds. Everyone we bought this summer pretty much is 25 and under. That's what we went and done. These players are only going to get better in the years they're going to be here. Kirkes is 21, 22. Frimpong's like 24. Isak's going to be, I think he's 25, be 26 soon. He's the oldest one we bought. Ekitike, 22. We bought young players to come through. And next summer, we don't have to do that window again. We don't need to spend almost 500 million next summer on about 8 or 9 players. It's just ridiculous. Makes no sense. You did it all in one window. So next window, if you're telling me Liverpool's transfer window next summer is an Adam Walton and an Elise that's replacing a Mo Salah, and Walton's coming in to shore out that midfield with Gravenberch, Szoboszlai and McAllister, then happy days. That's what you need. That's what they mean by these transfer windows. But a lot of people lose it and go, "Oh, we're never going to spend again. We're never going to spend again. That's it. It's done." The other thing Liverpool are looking to do, they're trying to give new contracts to Arne Slot, Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards, who all got 2 years left on their deals. Liverpool want to make sure they got signed up. The first one that will get signed up is probably Michael Edwards. So Michael Edwards works for Liverpool Football, for FSG, doesn't work for Liverpool Football Club. So it's FSG have got to give Michael Edwards a new contract. That is separate. It's a separate thing. Michael Edwards is an employee of FSG. He's the FSG CEO. He's not Liverpool CEO. Richard Hughes obviously works for Liverpool Football Club. And our manager works for Liverpool Football Club. So we don't. So I think Michael Edwards will get a new contract if he wants to stay at Liverpool. I'm sure he does. If he does want to stay at Liverpool, he will get a new deal. Once he gets a new deal, then he'll give Michael Edwards. Then he will give Richard Hughes a new deal. Who are so long, then we'll give Arne Slot a new deal. So I think that will happen quite quickly as well. Is Walton going to be happy sitting on the bench because he doesn't start ahead of Grav for me? I think Walton and Gravenberch might. Right, I'm going to keep. I think McAllister's a worry. I know people hate it when I talk about McAllister, right? If there's a midfielder Liverpool could say they could afford to lose, if you asked Arne Slot, you got to sell one between Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Gravenberch. I think he's selling McAllister. Now, people will go mad because I know a lot of people love McAllister. But if he had a choice, I think that's what he does. I think people call me a Szoboszlai lover, a glazed Szoboszlai all the time. Yeah, I do, man. But I think Szoboszlai is very important to Arne Slot. I think Arne Slot absolutely loves Szoboszlai for what he gives the team. The thing with McAllister, the thing with McAllister is that he plays a lot of football for his international club as well, and he goes deep into tournaments with his international club because it's Argentina, so they go deep into Copa Americas, win World Cups, win Copa Americas, stuff like that. Picks up a lot of knocks, does Mac. He does pick up a lot of knocks. I don't want this to happen, by the way. God forbid. I want them all to play. I just don't. I think Liverpool do really rate Adam Walton. I think the reason Liverpool were very polite and the way they treated Crystal Palace in compared to Newcastle and the ISAK situation with Mark Gahey tells me that Liverpool wanted to keep a very good, open, healthy relationship with Crystal Palace because they want to come back in for Adam Walton next season. I think that's why Liverpool didn't push on the Gahey thing as much as they probably could have. Gahey didn't really kick up the fuss. Liverpool didn't go to Gahey, go and kick up the fuss. Make sure you get out of here so we can sign you. I look at it and think Liverpool kept a good relationship, an open and good relationship with Crystal Palace because they want to come in for Adam Walton. And to get Adam Walton in, he's going to cost you around 80 to 100 million quid. That's what Crystal Palace going to want for him. We know how hard Crystal Palace to deal with already. If Liverpool really do want Adam Walton, as there's some rumours circulating today that's why Liverpool kept a good relationship with Palace, because they want Adam Walton. If they want Adam Walton, I just don't see how you go and buy a player like Adam Walton and pick a player to come into the team and I don't know how it works because Gravenberch is DM, yeah. There's nothing telling me right now that Arne Slot wants to upgrade on Gravenberch. None at all, because we would have done it this summer. If Slot wasn't happy with Ryan Gravenberch last season being his defensive midfielder, he would have upgraded on him this summer. So there's nothing telling me right now that he wants to upgrade on Gravenberch. Maybe he wants Walton to play alongside Gravenberch to get more control. You know what everyone in the chat was talking about earlier, midfield control. Maybe he's looking at him thinking, Gravenberch and Walton gives me more control if I can get that partnership together. And then I either play Wirtz or McAllister in a 10 or a Szoboszlai in a 10. And I don't know. It's an interesting one. We don't have to worry about that now. That's about next summer. But, McAllister's got 3 years left in his contract, I think. How long's McAllister got left in his contract, guys? How long's McAllister got left in his contract? Because I would like to get some, I'd like to get some clarification on Alexis McAllister. I ain't gonna lie. So McAllister has got, when's his contract? 2028. He's got 3 years left in his deal, so he's got plenty of time. 3 years left in his contract. Plenty of time. That's good. We ain't got to worry about McAllister. For McAllister to get sold, then you're talking about ridiculous money. So Liverpool don't have to worry about McAllister's contract till next season. So he's got 3 years left in his contract. I wouldn't be worrying about McAllister, guys. Then it'd be interesting to see then if we are going for Adam Walton, how he fits it all in. Interesting. That'd be interesting. I love McAllister, though. McAllister's a technician, man. You know, I think next season they got to make sure they get his thingy done. Liverpool says there's some K-Mac spot on. Again, I've not watched any K-Mac show, man, and K-Mac's not here, so slot on slot. No reason to be experimenting and trying to fix which is not broken. He's got better players. Should be smashing it. What the fuck are we chatting about here? What? What? I'm getting confused, more confused as the show goes on. We won 3 out of 3, man. What are we doing here? Experimenting with what? What the fuck are we experimenting on? What? See, again, I haven't watched K-Mac's show, man, and K-Mac's not here. But I have no idea. What? I don't know. I'm confused. I'm going to have to watch K-Mac's show before I go on the Sam show to understand what you guys are talking about. And K-Mac's not here, man. Experimenting in where? What? We ain't playing no different than we did last season. Literally playing no different, man. We won 3 games out of 3. I'm not quite sure. Big up K-Mac, though. Again, he's not here, so I can't question it. We've played the 3 best defences in the league and won all 3. Played 3 fucking hard games, man. I think last season we had a very easy start to the season. We all admit that, yeah. We all agree. We had an extremely nice start to last season. This season we've had a much harder start. Came out and said we're playing Kirkhead, Wirtz, Frimpong all wrong. No. No, we're not playing them wrong at all. The only one we're playing wrong is Kirkhead, because Kirkhead is playing as a third centre-back, so I agree with that. Wirtz, not really. Just playing a little bit too deep at the moment. It's just because he's getting used to it. Frimpong, out of all of them, Frimpong has been used correctly. So, yeah. Out of everyone, Frimpong's been used correctly. So, I don't, yeah. I'm not. The only thing with Wirtz at the moment is dropping too deep. So, yeah, he might have a point there. What the fuck is... If Slot doesn't get his act together, then soon we'll have a reality check. We were lucky so far. Oh, my... What is going on? I give up. Where's a white towel? I give up. I give up. I ain't got a white towel, man. Could have easily dropped points in those 3 games, but we didn't, did we? But we didn't lose them 3 games. Would you rather be a Man City fan or a Liverpool fan right now? Man City have lost 2 games. Would you rather be Arsenal fan right now who's spent as much money as Liverpool but also lost the game? Right. I'm going. I will say this, yeah. I will say this. Does Arne Slot rely on a lot of individual talent to win games of football? Yes. Because individual talent does win you games of football. Sometimes when your system doesn't work or for whatever it is, your tactics are not working in the game and football is not, the football you're playing is just not working. Sometimes, a lot of the time, individual talent gets you out of games. Otherwise, what is the point of buying players? Do you know what I mean? That's why the Man Uniteds in the 90s were the best team in the league, because they had the best players that won them games of football. Fergie's tactics didn't always work, you know, but they would win. How many games did Man United used to win in the last minute of games? You know, how many times did they? But they had the best players, man, because individual talent won them games of football. There's no point trying to buy a Cristiano Ronaldo if you're not going to use his individual talent to win you a game of football. Do you know what I mean? There's just no point buying a Florian Wirtz and not winning a game of football with his individual talent. You're buying these players because they got individual talent to win you a game of football. That's the point of buying these players. There is only so much a manager can sometimes do. Like, a manager can set you up, yeah? A manager can set you up tactically, right? If that manager has set you up tactically and you go on the pitch, but every shot you do hits the post and you draw that game 0-0, is it the manager's fault with his tactics, or is it the players on the pitch weren't good enough? Sometimes there's only so much a manager and coach can do. Yeah. You got to rely. The best coaches in the world rely on individual talent. Otherwise, there's no point buying individual talent. Why do you reckon Real Madrid buy all this quality individual talent? It's because when it goes shit wrong, the manager knows, I've got Mbappe on the pitch and get me a goal like that, and it's fucking got me out of trouble. So, yeah, we weren't great in our first 3 games. There's no doubt about it. I totally and utterly agree. We're dog shit, yeah. But the thing is, we won all 3 games because we've got so much individual talent in our team that gets us over the line. It's like saying Carlo Ancelotti's a shit manager. Carlo Ancelotti is the most vibes manager I've ever seen in my life. He sets up a team how he sets them up. How many times did we see Real Madrid get beaten up by teams, but then they go on to win the Champions League and their league title in the same season? Because they got so much individual talent. Is Zinedine Zidane the best coach of all time? Is Zidane the best manager of all time? Because Zidane has only ever managed Real Madrid, yeah? And for 3 years in a row, he won the Champions League. He's the only coach in the history of football that has won the Champions League with the same club 3 times in a row. The Champions League with Real Madrid. Is that because he's the greatest manager and coach of all time? Or is it because he had some of the best individual talent in world football on the pitch at the time? It's because he had the most individual talent. He had fucking Ronaldo in his prime. He had Bale in his prime. He had Benzema in his prime. He had Sergio Ramos in his prime. He had all these quality footballers in their prime. He had the best 11 in world football. That's a Jota, special design Jota top. Yeah, Jamie, but your mad bench can replace gravel or set back then. Same thing. Yeah. So what's the issue then? Well, I'm again confused. So you just admitted I was right. Yeah, they had Pepe at the back as well. You know what I'm saying? So is Zidane the best coach in the world? Are we just saying Zidane's the best coach in the world now? The only coach ever in the history of football, in European football, to win 3 European Cups in a row with the same club? Or is it because he had the best individual talent? Coaches can only ever do so much. They need talent. What if, big up Emil, what if, again, you have a very, very good coach, yeah? You have an exceptional coach, right? But the players he's got are not good enough. So he's not winning enough games of football. But his coaching is excellent. His tactical way of playing is excellent. We're a beautiful team to watch, right? This is hypothetical. So we've got the best tactical manager in the world, right? And he set us up. And we play some beautiful football. We're pinging it diagonally. We can play short. We play into feet. We play in the final third space. We're just excellent. But we don't win enough games of football, and we don't win enough trophies, and we don't win enough league titles. And then the manager's like, I've done all I can. They're playing some of the sexiest, most beautiful football you've ever seen, but I need to go and buy Alexander Isak. Why do you need to go and buy Alexander Isak? Because I need that individual talent to put the ball in the back of the net. I'm not coaching Alexander Isak how to score goals. He knows how to do it naturally. He's one of the best in the world at it. I've got to go and get him to go and get me more points to win games of football. Because I can't coach the striker we got right now any more than I'm doing right now. And he can't score and get me out of trouble like Alexander Isak can. That's why they buy the best in the world. That's why the best coaches play with the best players. Because they don't need to coach them. You know, Slot's not going to sit here coaching Isak. He's going to tell him, go and score me goals. Get me out of shit when it need to get me out of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Slot's changed anything. I don't think we play any different. You know, I think we play pretty much the same football. You know, if you look from about January this year to where we are now, we play pretty much the same football. Nothing's changed. Before the first half of last season, between August and Christmas time, we played a little bit different. You know, bit more structured. After that, it's been different, man. It's been different. I don't see any difference at all. Any difference. We're still attack minded. We still lose the ball in stupid areas of the pitch. We still scraps. And what did I say? And this is what I said as well. I said this as well I said this on a Sam show. Everyone remember, everyone was slagging off Szoboszlai for being a runner. And I said, Slot's going to use him the same way as he uses, Wirtz will use him as Szoboszlai. And that's what he's doing right now. Thiago, the same thing. Thiago was used differently with Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool than he was done at Bayern Munich. Players sometimes are used a little bit differently. There's no doubt about that. But again, you know, Jamie, at the start of last season, we were centre back and DM short, and we are short at the top. We are. What the fuck? Oh, I'll just give up. I'm just going to give up. I'm going to give up. We won the league last year, and we won 3 out of 3 so far this season. Now, if we lose to Burnley, we'll have discussions, yeah? Like, if we beat Burnley and we beat Everton, we've won 5 out of 5. It'd be exactly the same start as last season, result-wise. Scraps thinks Wirtz should play off the left. You think Wirtz should play off the left? Interesting. I just think he's got to play higher up the pitch, Scraps. He's playing too deep at the moment. He's got to play higher up the pitch. But again, Wirtz for Liverpool can't look the same Wirtz that played for Bayer Leverkusen because they played in a different system. You know, at Leverkusen, you're playing with a back 3 and 2 wing backs that have got different, you know, very wide up, and you're playing with 2 up top, and you know he's got a bit more room and a bit more things to do. I agree with Wirtz maybe playing left wing. It's not his natural position, as I say. He's only ever played there 7 times in his whole career. I think it's a little bit different. Midfield's too weak with Mac and Wirtz. I don't think the midfield's weak at all. I think it's the system we play. We never got bullied by Arsenal once. Why not sell the bum Jones for Walton? Because Curtis Jones is not a bum. Why would you sell Curtis Jones, man? That makes no sense. Curtis Jones has been better than McAllister this season. Curtis Jones changed the game against Newcastle and changed the game against Arsenal. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there right now. I'm not Curtis Jones's biggest fan, but Curtis Jones changed the game against Newcastle and he changed the game against Arsenal. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying sell McAllister, by the way, earlier. I was saying from a first teamer point of view, because I don't class Curtis Jones as a first teamer. It's a first teamer point of view. If you want to get another first teamer in, who do you look at selling maybe? Curtis Jones is a squad player, man. He's not a first teamer. Yeah, and that, look, to be fair, Scraps, this is where I disagree a little bit. It's giving away the ball. So the goals we conceded against Bournemouth, let's say, were balls given away by Szoboszlai and Mo Salah. If they never gave away the balls, we probably don't concede in that game, if that makes sense. So it's about looking after the ball better. We are very attack-minded. That is one thing we're not. We're not a defensive-minded team. You know, there's no one in the world, nobody, and I mean no one, can call us pragmatic. Do you know what I mean? We're like the least pragmatic side there is in football. You know, that is the one thing. That is the one thing we're not, is pragmatic. That is what I can die on that hill. I think we can all admit that in the chat. There's not one person, Liverpool fan, content creator, or anything that will call us pragmatic. You know what I mean? We are very, very offensive. Extremely offensive. Physically, we're not up to par, like with a lot of other teams, but we still win games of football, which is kind of mad, ain't it? I agree. Physically, our midfielders are aggressive or bullish enough. Unfortunately, that's why it's too easy to go for our midfield. But we still win games of football. It's mad, ain't it? It's mad, ain't it? It's crazy. We haven't got a physical midfield, but we still win games of football. Absolutely crazy to me. I don't know how we do it. Don't know how we do it. Don't know how we do it. I have no idea. Arsenal got the most physical midfield I've seen. They don't win anything. Strange. Strange to me. You know when I spoke about earlier in the beginning of the show about getting angry? Do you know what I'm saying? When I spoke earlier in the show about being angry, yeah. About Liverpool comments and Liverpool stuff, and just I should ignore it, man. Yeah, I should ignore so much shit. Exactly, Scraps. That's what I'm saying, man. And I'm cool with that. Like Real Madrid in the last few years. This is Scraps, and this is what I'm saying about coaches can only do so much. It's up to players to do stuff. That's why I said is Zinedine Zidane the best coach in the world because he's the only manager to ever win 3 Champions Leagues in a row with the same team, or is it because he had the best players in the world that got him out of shit? It's such a fine line, ain't it? It's such a fine line. Exactly, Ant. Exactly. You know, Arsenal have got a wonderful side, yeah? They probably got the most aggressive midfield with Newcastle in the league. Newcastle and Arsenal have got the most aggressive midfields in the country, yeah? But they don't win anything. You know, I don't know. I don't know what everyone wants in the midfield. I think the midfield stuff, I think with our fan base is so... What does everyone want from our midfield? This is what I ask a question now. Big up, yeah, and everything good, man. What does everyone want from our midfield? That's the question I'm going to ask right now. What does everyone want from our midfield? What does everyone want from our midfield? Like, what do you want? What sort of players do you want in there? What, you know? Do you want physicality? Do you want quality? What do we want? And by the way, everyone talking about the Newcastle physical midfield. None of our midfielders went off the pitch crying because of injury. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. You know, Newcastle's midfielders, remember, so aggressive and, you know, go kill our team. They'll go injure everyone. And then it was Tonali and thingy that went off crying into their shirts. Yeah, that physical midfield. I think we won the physical battle that day because none of our midfielders came off crying like a bitch about being physical and all that. You know, Anthony Gordon got sent off because he was over physical. Yeah. Anthony Gordon got sent off being over physical. Tonali got sent off because he landed on his shoulder, cried into his shirt like a bitch. Who's the other player? Who's the other player for Newcastle that went off because they pulled his groin? And by the way, do you know the player that he pulled his groin up against was? Yeah, Gravenberch. Gravenberch bodied him and he pulled his groin. Yeah. So, so what are we talking about physicality here? Newcastle got the most physical midfield in the league, man. Most physical midfield in the league. And two of them star midfielders went off injured in that game. And one of them got off injured because Gravenberch bodied him and he pulled his groin. You know, and just mad, ain't it? It's mad. Joel Linton, that's it. Joel Linton got bodied by Gravenberch and he pulled his groin. Mad. Crazy world we live in. Is this shit sustainable? What, winning games of football? Yeah, man, it is, yeah. Winning games of football is sustainable, my man, yeah. What are we doing? What are we doing? Do you want to all play like Arsenal then? Because Arsenal's way of playing football isn't sustainable either. Like, is Arsenal's way of playing sustainable? Because I've not seen them win a league title yet. I've not seen Arsenal win a league title playing their way of football. So what way of football is the right way? Liverpool have played this attacking way, even under Jurgen Klopp, into Arne Slot, this gung-ho, heavy metal football. Liverpool have always played for years and years now. It's not changed. The manager has changed, but the way we play has really not changed. But it's not ever sustainable. Do you know, I'm trying to work it out, guys. What is the way we should play? This is what I need to know. What way should we play? So our midfield is not physical enough. It's not physical enough. But this physical midfield is probably not good enough, but it still wins games of football. Do you remember a few years ago? Does everyone remember a few years ago? Does everyone remember a few years ago when everyone used to moan that we had a Brexit midfield? And now everyone wants a Brexit midfield again. Do you remember? So we're going back to the days when we had a Brexit midfield and no one wanted it. No one wanted it. Everyone called it Brexit for a reason, yeah? We had a Brexit midfield and everyone got pissed off with it, right? Now we no longer have that. Everyone wants to go back to the Brexit midfield. Is that what you're saying? Everyone wants Hendo, James Milner and Fabinho back and Gini Wijnaldum just smashing people, being over physical. Scraps, and to be fair, man, Scraps, if you look at all the best teams in the world, isn't that pretty much the same thing for everyone? Pretty much. Because the best teams in the world all have the best players in the world, don't they? And they all have match winners. So, you know what I'm saying? Brexit midfield, man. Let's go back to the Brexit midfield. It cracks me up. This fan base cracks me up, man. I love it to bits. I really do. I love it to bits. We moaned and moaned and moaned that we had a Brexit midfield. Henderson wasn't good enough. Didn't get us enough goals and that. You know, Genie's playing too deep. He should play in the 10. Why are we playing Genie out of position? No one cares now. Everyone talks about Genie like he was Graham Souness. Yeah. But when we bought Genie Wijnaldum was an attacking-minded midfielder. He was like a number 10. He played further up the pitch. He even played on the wing in his career. Then we got him and played him in the 6 as a sitting 6. We played 3 DMs. Henderson, Fabinho and Genie. They basically didn't move. So do we want to go back to that? Because people moaned about that. The one thing about that Klopp era that people did moan about was our midfield. They wanted more goals, more assists, more creativity from our midfield. But our midfield was a physical midfield. You couldn't get past them. They would smash you. You know, they'd beat you up, right? Proper physical. People didn't want it after a while. People went, no, we want the Thiagos of this world, the Alex McAllisters of this world. Now you've got them. People don't want them. It cracks me up. How physical do you want it? Do you want Joel Linton in midfield? Who does Joel Linton replace in our midfield? Tell me. Who does Joel Linton replace in our midfield? Probably no one. Probably no one. In fact, I don't think any Newcastle midfielder gets into our midfield. None of them. Don't think Bruno or Tonali get into our midfield. And I like all them players. I just don't think they get in. And if they do, they're taking over because apart from thingy at Chelsea, Ryan Gravenberch is the best defensive midfielder in the league. He's the best DM in the league. Apart from thingy at Chelsea, who I'll give him all the flowers because he's a tremendous defensive midfielder. You know, Gravenberch is the best DM in the world. And Scraps is right. You know, tactics have got to be better. And I agree with Scraps there. Tactics have got to be better. You can't just always hope for the players to bail you out. So Scraps is right there. Tactics do have to be better. I agree with Scraps there as well. Tactically wise, we're not quite at it at the moment. There needs to be a better blend. At the moment, I do feel like maybe the players are getting slot out of a lot of trouble in these first 3 games. Tactics need to get a little bit better. I'd like to see a bit more of a 50-50 share. Who does Tonali replace, Jeremy? Who does Tonali replace? Who does Tonali replace in our midfield? So I'd say Liverpool got their best midfield 3 out, which is probably Gravenberch, McAllister and Wirtz. Who's Tonali taking the place of? Who's Tonali taking the place of? And remember, Gravenberch is extremely press resistant as well. We got to remember this as well. Extremely press resistant. No one moves with the ball better than Gravenberch as a defensive midfielder. Prime Davies would be ace, but Fultz and Edison. Big Jamal. Yeah, I love Edison from Atlanta. Good player, man. Good player, but doesn't get in our midfield. Doesn't get in our midfield. By the way, everyone in the chat, you do know me and Scraps are cool, yeah? All right. So I'm trying to work out who did Tonali come in for, man. Because we go all sit here and pretend Wirtz weren't the best number 10 in world football before he came to Liverpool, and every team in Europe wanted Wirtz, yeah? That's not pretend that because he's had 3 bad games. Let's not go sit down that road and go, Wirtz, yeah, everyone can replace Wirtz. He's had 3 bad games. Let's not forget how gassed we were when we bought Wirtz. A lot of us couldn't believe it when we were in Frings. Everyone thought he was going to go Man City or Bayern Munich. Everyone called him the best 10 in the world. Everyone wanted him. So let's not go and pretend and sit down this Wirtz shit now. Who does Tonali replace out of Gravenberch, McAllister and Wirtz in our best midfield? So I'm waiting for an answer, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to play a different kind of football, where you want to play your midfield more physical, less emphasis on them players creating and making attacks, then yeah, you can put Tonali in. But if you want to play your midfielders that are trying to control, make attacking movements and get into the final third and find final through balls and contributing goals and assists. Scrap says Bruno. You having Bruno for Grav, Scraps? Is that the one? Is that you? Or no. I already know who Scraps are having for. Scraps are having for McAllister. I know it already. I don't need to ask him. I think Scraps would have Bruno instead of McAllister and keep Grav because Scraps does love Grav. So Gravenberch, Bruno, and Wirtz will be Scraps is free. Yeah, there you go. I knew it. See, I know Scraps so well, man. Where? I still think we completely underrate. I think this fan base so completely underrates Gravenberch, man. Gravenberch is not the best passer in the world. I'm not going to sit here and say he's a quality passer. He's not. But midfield would be Macca, Szoboszlai and Tonali. So who's your defensive midfielder? Jeremy, who's your DM? And this is not me getting on you. I just want to... Who's your DM there, man? Because Tonali's not a defensive midfielder. Neither was Mac and neither was Szoboszlai. We underestimate what McAllister, what Gravenberch does, man. He's so press. He's our most press-resistant midfielder, apart from Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones and him are our best press-resistant midfielders. When he gets the ball, the Gravenberch turn, as it's called now, yeah, it's predictable, but no one can stop it yet. The way Gravenberch runs away from players in deeper ends of the pitch, his interceptions, his reading of the game. Gravenberch is a quality footballer. Quality footballer. Endo, you know. Bigger Endo. We know every time, man. Endo time, yeah. Mac is the DM. Fair enough. Fair dues there. See, they're all opinions. So you change the way we play a little bit to compromise that situation. I hear it. Because you can't play 4-2-3-1 playing, obviously, that way. You'd play a flat 3. You'd change it up a little bit. Play a flat 3. And I hear it. Because Newcastle don't play 4. They play a flat 3, don't they? You can do it like that. I agree. If you want to do it like that, so you play sort of like the way PSG do with a flat 3, where everyone interchanges. That's cool. So you're playing a little bit different. He has it on lock, man. He has it on lock. And the thing with Gravenberch, he takes 2 or 3 midfielders out of the game when he does it. So, yeah, his passing is not the best, but his ball carrying is superb. It's a high. His ball carrying is a high level. And because he takes 2 or 3 players out of position, then he gives the ball off and you going from there. Yeah, I'm all right with McCann. By the way, if you ask me, your defensive midfielder should be taking care of the ball and passing it, you know, simply. I don't want my defensive midfielder looking for through balls. Do you know what I mean? I don't need my defensive midfielder to sit there and play through balls. I want my defensive midfielder to clean up, intercept at times when he needs to intercept, get the ball carry, and play the ball off simple. That's what I want my DM to do. I don't need Gravenberch to get the ball and play through balls past 4 players to a right winger or a striker. We're all like, oh my God. I don't need that. To keep it nice and simple. And let the better players in front of him, like a McAllister or a Wirtz, play the through balls, play the special passes. Gravenberch should just keep it simple, man. That's what I want from Grav. Don't need Grav to be playing these fucking ridiculous passes. Yes, exactly, Scraps. I've been saying this since we bought him. Big up to you, Scraps. Me and Scraps on the same wavelength there. That's not like he was more attacking before we bought him. What, Grav? He weren't exactly. Gravenberch always played in the 6/8. That's where Gravenberch played. If you go back and watch Gravenberch at Ajax as a young kid, actually go and watch that Liverpool Ajax Champions League game that Gravenberch played it for. Gravenberch was arguably the best player on the pitch in that game. He got a lot of people spoke about him. That's where Liverpool spoke about him. That's why Liverpool wanted him. And he was playing for Ajax in that Champions League game, and he always played. If you go back and watch that game, he sort of played in that deeper 6/8 position. He wasn't an attacking midfielder. He's picking up the ball a lot of the time in his own half, things like that, moving with it, running with it. He's always played in a deeper position. Grav's natural position is more of that, like, sort of like 6/8. That's where he plays. He plays in them pockets. Be up, Mickey. Yeah, Szoboszlai's Stabby. He's underrated, full stop. I keep saying this. He's underrated anyway, not just his passing, everything about his game. Szoboszlai is underrated with. I love Szoboszlai, man. You know, there's one thing I've always backed. I've backed Szoboszlai since we bought him. I do. I love Sobo, man. It's just things to his game that I think we underrate. I think there's a lot to his game that we really underrate. Semenyo should have scored 2 before he scored. It's not that an issue, so be it. I've been watching football for long enough to know it's not sustainable. So you're talking about the first game of the season that we won 4-2. Sweet. Do you believe we should have knocked out PSG in the Champions League last year because Salah should have scored 2 goals in the opening 20 minutes to put us 3-0 up on aggregate? Would you agree with that? Because it's football, man. Shit happens. And I'm not disagreeing with you. We played badly against Bournemouth. Played badly. And Semenyo he got in too many times. I agree. But are we going to forget that Ekitike missed a header about 3 yards out to make it like 5-2? And he put one wide when he was 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Are we forgetting that in that same Bournemouth game, Ekitike should have had a hat-trick? So Liverpool Ekitike missed 2 clear scoring opportunities in that game as well. So that game could have ended 6-2 Liverpool. And it happened. I was there. We witnessed it. We watched it together. We did the watch along. Everyone watched it. If Szoboszlai doesn't give the ball away, Bournemouth don't score. About keeping the ball better at times. I'm just having conversations. Like, we can go back and forth on stuff all the time, and I agree The way we played against Bournemouth was terrible. It weren't good enough. I agree. It was bad, but we won 4-2. And Semenyo could have had more goals. But at the same time, if we're talking about that, Ekitike going up, he could have had a hat-trick on his debut. So he could have had 2 more goals to the 4 we already scored. So we would have scored 6 in our opening game of the season against a very, very good Bournemouth team. So, yeah, I agree there's parts of our game we have to get better at. We have to. We have to. There's no doubt about that. But we've had 3 very difficult games of the season and we won all 3. At the start of last season, our fixtures were more kind to us. So maybe these problems didn't come up at the beginning of last season because the fixtures we had were a bit more kind to us. The fixtures this season are more difficult to us. Bournemouth are a very explosive attacking team. We saw that just last week when they beat Tottenham 1-0. Go back to the Tottenham game. Tottenham have started this season really well. No one expected Tottenham to lose to Bournemouth at home. Bournemouth absolutely annihilated them. Yeah, it only ended 1-0, but Bournemouth annihilated them, man. So I agree we didn't play well enough in that game, but it depends what you mean by sustainable. How long is sustainable? Because we did it all last season and we won a Premier League. How long do you class as sustainable? Is it 10 games? Is it 30 games? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? Is what? Do you think we're going to play this way every single week for the next 2 years? Or is it going to be little tweaks? Or is it we were just a bit shit, underprepared, and weren't good enough against Bournemouth? And they should have scored 4, we should have scored 6. We would have still won the game. Or do you want to play that Arsenal Football Club, who were terrible against Man United and got away with not conceding a penalty because Man United should have had a penalty in that game and won 1-0. Against Leeds United, they never made an open scoring chance till the 70th minute of that game from open play because their goals came from set pieces. So from open play against Leeds United, they didn't have an open play chance of 70 minutes. Is that sustainable? And against Liverpool, they had 1 shot on target in the whole game. They only had 1 shot on target in the whole game, but they lost 1-0. So is that sustainable? Is Arsenal's way of playing sustainable? Because Arsenal have been playing like this now for 4 years and have won nothing. So is what they're doing sustainable right now? We play very much risky football. It gives you a heart attack. I get it. I understand it. It's very hard to watch at times. It's very emotional. It gives you chest pains. Yeah, I get it, man. I live it. I don't know. I don't know what the way to play is that's sustainable. Salah had a break the all-time Salah GA for a season. That he did, man, and we won the league. Again, individual talent wins your trophies, man. Who knew? I think last season, unexpected success got to our heads. Now fans are arrogant. I'm sorry, but what's arrogant? I am so confused by this. Liverpool 67. Again, I don't understand this comment at all. I need. Right. I think last season, unexpected success got into our heads. Right. Who said Liverpool would win the Premier League before a ball was even kicked last summer? Like last summer, guys, who predicted Liverpool? Put your hands up if you predicted Liverpool would win the league last season before a ball was kicked. This guy. Me and Drifty did. Me and Drifty both predicted Liverpool would win the league last season before a ball was even kicked. So, yeah, can I be arrogant? Why? Yeah, why can't we be arrogant? We're champions of England. When are you allowed to be? Unexpected success got to our heads, and now fans are acting so arrogant. So you're not allowed to be arrogant when you're English champions. Lewis, I predicted that Liverpool win the league, man. Go and check the videos, man. When are we allowed to be arrogant then? I don't get it. I don't get when we're allowed to be arrogant then. I don't get it. Look, if we lose to Burnley, come back at me, you know? Come back at me, fight me, and all that. And then I'll go, look, Arsenal have lost one, Man City have lost two, we've lost one already. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of us thought that Liverpool had a good chance last season. Because a lot of us didn't lean into the media bullshit that Arne Slot weren't a good coach because, you know, we saw him do it, man. Big up, man. Big up Rasta in the chat as well, man. Brother, I hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. I don't get it. It's just me. I don't understand it. All right. Hang on. Jamie, what are you on today? Bruno G walks into your midfield. No, he don't. Who for? Again, who does Bruno walk into our midfield for? So Liverpool's best midfield three. So say Slot's picking his best Liverpool 11 tomorrow, right? And his best midfield three are Gravenberch, McAllister and Florian Wirtz. Who does Bruno take the place of? This will be interesting. I need to know this before we leave. Who does Bruno take the place of? And if you say Florian Wirtz and go, lose my shit, because everyone wanted Florian Wirtz in the summer, right? So I don't want to hear that bullshit. Gravenberch is arguably the best defensive midfielder in the country, and McAllister is a technician. So, like, who does he take the place of? I like Bruno as well, man. It is a good point. He did say your midfield or not our midfield, didn't he? He did say your midfield. Scraps. I know. Scraps. I love Scraps, man. Bruno walks into our bench. That's it. Like, I'm with you. He did say your, didn't he? Your midfield. Maybe he means my midfield that I pick. It wouldn't be the midfield that he picks. I think that's what he means by it. I need to wait. I'm waiting on it before we can end the show. I've got to wait on it. We've been going almost 3 hours. This has been more lively debate between me and you guys in the chat than I thought it was going to be for this show, man. I didn't think we'd be going like this. I've got to go on the Sam show in a minute. I've been going almost 3 hours here and I didn't even expect it. I need to know, man. Honestly, if he says Gravenberch, I'm going to just shut the show off. I need to know, man. I need to know. And it depends how you want to play. So Liverpool 67 might want to play with a flat midfield three. If he wants to play with a flat midfield three with interchanging, then yeah, I hear it. But we play 4-2-3-1. We play 4-2-3-1. Wirtz will catch fire soon. That he will, man. Of course he will. I'm enjoying this. Great show as always. Appreciate it, guys. I need to know before we can shut the show off. I'm desperate. I love Liverpool 67. By the way, guys, me and Liverpool 67 are good. We're cool, man. He knows that. I know that. You know, we go back and forth with stuff all the time, but we have respect for each other. So I respect Liverpool 67. He knows that. But I'm waiting for his answer, man. Be like Colin, a bit Arteta fan. I just need to know, because if you're playing different formations, so Liverpool 67 might play a different system and a bit different formation. He might be thinking, I'd rather play a midfield three, a flat three that interchanges, and they all do similar jobs. Then maybe Bruno goes into your team. Then that makes sense, right? But if it's the way it is now with double pivot and a 10, I just don't know where Bruno plays, man. Score prediction for tomorrow. I think we win 2-0, 3-0. I know a lot of people think that's an underrating scoreline, but it's coming back off international break. We're coming off international break, but I expect a win. I do expect a win. I think we'll perform poorly. It wouldn't surprise me, and I don't care as long as we win. It's all about performances. Don't matter to me right now. It's about results. The performances need to step up in about a few more weeks' time. I'm just about getting results right now. So if Liverpool can go and win a game 2-0 away to Burnley in a 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon game, do me. I'm not really worried about a performance just yet. Yeah, Sunday's game. I'm not worried about performances just yet. Give me the results, man. Give me the results. Just give me 3 points. 4 wins out of 4, man. 12 points. Sitting pretty. Sitting pretty. That's all I want. That's all I want in life. I thought it's a disaster. We've got to respect Burnley, man. We have to respect them. We have to give Burnley a respect. I hope the team does as well. I hope Liverpool give Burnley their respect, man. It's very important that we give them their respect. Otherwise, you lose games of football. Got to give them their respect. Where is Burnley in the league right now? So Burnley are doing well. I think they've started the season well, haven't they? They're 14th. They won 1 game. Who did they? Yeah, exactly. ISAK's just different gravy, man. Hey, the tactics are not good right now. Oh, my fucking voice. No, the tactics are not good right now. Not at the moment. Not at the moment. The tactics are not quite right at this moment in time. They need to get better, though. 2-0. Big up Adam, man. Taking 2-0, man. As I said, I'm all about results more than performances right now. Give me the results. Performances have to improve in a few weeks' time. So Burnley almost drew to Man United. If Man United can score 3 goals against Burnley, we should be bagging goals. Do you know what I mean? They beat Sunderland 2-0, was a bit of a shock. Who else they played? Let me have a look at Burnley. So Burnley lost to Tottenham 3-0 away from home. Beat Derby County 2-1 in the cup at home. Lost 3-2 away to Man United. But beat Sunderland 2-0. So at home, Burnley are quite decent at home. Well, can I say quite decent at home? They beat Sunderland 2-0 at home. Can I measure that in anything? Not really. They lost to Tottenham 3-0. They lost to Man United 3-2. If Tottenham and Man United have put 3 goals past them, yeah, we got to be scoring goals, man. Come on. I think we all agree we're going to win the game. We might not look great doing it, but I think we'll get a win. Yeah, they lost to Spurs bad, man. They did get robbed. There's no doubt about it. But the fact that we're talking them getting robbed against this shit Man United team right now. Where is Liverpool 67 with his... Liverpool 67, you can't leave the chat with that take, man. Where? Big up, Daryl. I hope you're doing well, man. Feel better soon, man. Liverpool 67, we're still waiting, man. I can't end the show yet. I love you, man, but I'm waiting. I need to know. He walks into your midfield. So I need to know, man. Come on. You put your as well, which is crazy. I actually scrapped. This might sound mad. I think our performance against Atletico might actually be better than our performance against Burnley, if that makes sense. It probably don't make sense, but I think you probably know what I mean by it. Come on. I need to know. I'm desperate to know, man. I need to know. I need to know. Because I can bet it. Get better, Daryl, man. Much love to you, man. Much love, Daryl. Liverpool 67 car, man. I need to know. Anxiety is destroying my life. Can anyone else? Anxiety is horrible, Daryl. Go to your doctor, man. Go and speak to your doctor. I know you've been through it in the last 12 months and so it's been difficult for you, man. I hear it. You got to go and talk to your doctor, man. Go and talk to your doctor. Need you about, my friend. I need you about. Go and talk to your doctor, man, please. I think you made Liverpool 67 rage quit. No, I like Liverpool 67. We're pals. I like him. I really do. He knows I like him. We go back and forward all the time. I need to know. I like Bruno G as well. I think Bruno Guimaraes is a fantastic footballer. I just don't know where he plays in our best Liverpool 11 because I know people still. It's fun. It's mad the world we still live in when people like. If you think if people think if people think Ryan Gravenberch is not a defensive midfielder, well, neither is Bruno. So, no, it's not trolling, Jeremy. He's been on my show for years now. We go back and forth all the time. We've been back. We always go back and forth. He's been around for a long time. So I said I love the guy. I really do. He knows that. Still thinking the clock underdog mentality. You guys in the chat are mad. I just don't. I love I just want to know, and then I can end the show. Because if he says Gravenberch, it's madness. Because Gravenberch is more of a DM than Bruno is. It'd be crazy to me. Crazy. But yeah, we got 944 people watching right now on X. Big up to almost 1,000 people watching on X right now. Scrap says Bruno would be our best midfielder regardless of spot he takes. But I know Scraps was saying that he would take McAllister's spot, so I can understand Scraps' position because Scraps has come with his answer. I personally don't think he gets in past. See, he'd have to take McAllister's spot. If we're being fair here, Scraps has got the right answer. If Bruno Guimaraes was going to come into Liverpool's midfield, he'd have to take McAllister's spot. He'd have to take McAllister's spot. Score predictions of Burnley. Yeah, I think we win 2-0. I want to see performances maybe improve a little bit, but as long as we get a result, win 4 out of 4, I'm all good with it, man. I think we're wearing our green kit as well, aren't we? I think we're wearing our green kit. Yeah, if we're playing 4-2-3-1, so if we're playing a double pivot with a 10, then if Bruno Guimaraes was going to come into Liverpool's midfield, the only person his position he could really take is Alexis McAllister's. Another time like Ryan is sitting on Matt Bayern's bench. It's mad that Bayern Munich never played him. I bet Bayern Munich wish they had him now, though. The last Sweden-Liverpool was Glenn Hussein in 1990-1991. Glenn Hussein, man, who has been grazed since he was born. Love Glenn Hussein, man. Yeah, that third kit looks lit. I ain't gonna lie, it looks nice. Everyone watching on X right now, as I say, there's like 1,000 people tuned into X right now. Make sure you're coming over. Comment in the chat or come on over, guys. Come on over, guys. Go and subscribe to the channel. Adam Cleary. Yeah, he used to do Adam Cleary. I like Adam Cleary. He used to do What Culture. He came from What Culture. And yeah, good guy he is. He does good videos. I like Adam Cleary. Good guy. Sorry, LFC Shankly. Didn't mean to make you choke. Oh man, where is my man? He's gone. Disappeared. I'm so intrigued by it. I'm so intrigued about who the midfield three would be, man. Because taking Gravenberch out would make no sense whatsoever, man. Big up Sam Max Legend. Right, I'll ask everyone in the chat. This. If Bruno Guimaraes was going to come in from Newcastle to Liverpool, whose place would he take in our midfield three? And it's got to stay the same system. No changing it up just to put him in. Double pivot and a 10. So you're playing a double pivot and you're playing a 10. Who does Bruno replace? Everyone in the chat, let me know. So the midfield three right now would be Gravenberch, McAllister and Wirtz in the 10. Who would Bruno G take the place of? If he was meant to come to Liverpool right now, who would he take the place of? Let me know. And if people say Gravenberch, I'm going to be pissed because people say Gravenberch ain't a DM. Well, neither's Bruno. Curtis James on the bench. Jamie, do you ever consider getting back into playing football at some level? No, man, I'm 44, man. I can barely lift my hand onto the mouse. Do you know what I mean? Maybe coaching, but I've never coached in my life, man. McAllister. So you and Scraps are saying Mac. Wirtz in the 10. Yeah, Mac would be benched. That's the player. And I'm going to say it right now. It has to be Gravenberch. So who's going to play DM? So if Gravenberch comes out of the team, who's going to play DM? Oh, it hurts my brain so much. Big up Frez, man. I just need to know who plays DM if Grav comes out. Bruno G's an upgrade on Grav. He's not an upgrade on Grav. I love your comment. Thank you very much for your comment, Frez. I appreciate you being on the channel. He's not an upgrade on Gravenberch at all. So you'd have Bruno G as your DM. Fair enough. I'd have him replace McAllister if he was going to come in. Adam, that's a bit much. Joel Linton is Newcastle's number 10. How did Dom get grief last season? It's mad, ain't it? It's mad. It's absolutely mad. I don't think Bruno gets in our midfield three. That's just me. Look. Yeah, he has to. That South American duo would be quality. I would prefer. Look, I honestly think, in my opinion, no Newcastle midfielder gets in Liverpool's best midfield three at all. At all. That's just me. He'd be on the bench and it'd be a great option. Like Bruno would be an amazing option. There's no doubt about that. He'd be our fourth choice midfielder. He'd be our fourth choice. There's no doubt about that. There'd be games where McAllister can't play. You play Bruno, stuff like that. Fourth choice, no doubt about that whatsoever. No doubt about that whatsoever. I ain't having him. Like Liverpool have already looked, but it's mad that Gravenberch has been our best midfielder so far this season when he's played. Our two best midfielders this season have been Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. I think we all agree with that, yeah? I think Bruno would be used in rotation as our fourth best midfielder. Yeah. Jamie, how are you ranking Suarez, Torres and Bobby? You have to pick one to be a 9 in your team, but you don't know how they set up or your manager will be. Suarez, because Suarez would play in any system. I'd pick Suarez because I watched Suarez do it for a Brendan Rodgers Liverpool team. I've seen him do it for Uruguay. I've seen him do it for Ajax. And I saw him do it for Barcelona. And then I saw him do it for Atletico Madrid in a more pragmatic side compared to a lot of the teams that he played for, and was still top goal scorer in Spain. He outscored everyone in Spain by playing as Atletico Madrid's main striker. So, yeah, I'd go Suarez because I think he could fit any system in world football. Yeah, I'm with you, Sam Max Legend. I think right now, at this moment in time, Gravenberch is only getting better in that DM position. And the more he plays there, he's going to end up being elite, in my opinion. Big up David says, hi, Joe. Hope you're well, bro. Hope you're well too, man. Appreciate your super as always, man. Yeah, he's the best, man. He can play in any system. As I said, he played in the system at Ajax, was outscoring everyone. He played in the system at Liverpool, outscored everyone. Played at Real Madrid, at Barcelona, was outscoring everyone there apart from Messi. Went to Atletico Madrid and outscored Messi and everyone at Atletico Madrid. The man's a scumbag, but yeah, he's the best striker. He's the best number 9 I've seen since R9 in my generation of watching football. R9 is the best striker I've ever seen play football with my own eyes, but Luis Suarez is second. I don't think there's anyone close to him. I hear people like Benzema and all that, they're not as good as Suarez, man. Suarez was just different. He was the best striker I've seen since R9. It's mental, ain't it? Because Suarez is a prick, yeah? Because Suarez is an absolute prick, he will never get the acknowledgement that he should do. In my opinion, the 3 best players of our generation were Messi, Ronaldo, and Suarez at that time. But everyone always only mentioned Ronaldo and Messi. They were the 2. Oh, Ronaldo, Messi, Ronaldo, Messi, Ronaldo, Messi. I actually think Suarez was the 3rd. But he never got the mention because Suarez is a prick. We know this. He's an arsehole. He's a scumbag. But as a footballer, can't touch him, man. Can't touch the guy. Just out of this world. Right, guys, I'm going to have to leave it there because obviously on a Sam show in about 15 minutes time. And we've gone for 3 hours, 10 minutes of me chatting away. This has been a quality show. Can't believe I've been chatting for over 3 hours with you guys on my own. What a show. What a show. You guys are fantastic. Big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to my man, Liverpool67 as well. Hope he knows that we're only having fun around here and I love him. But, yeah. I need to know your answer. I need to know. Liverpool67, make sure you comment at the end of this video in down there. Comment down there and let me know your answer, man. So I need to know your answer. Who would you replace him with? I need to know. Yeah, guys, much love, guys. I'll be back. I'm actually doing the watch along. I'm actually doing the watch along Sunday for Liverpool and Burnley. So make sure you're tuning in for that game. Liverpool and Burnley. I'll be doing the watch along for that. And I haven't done a watch along for a while on Liverpool, so I'm looking forward to it. So make sure you're joining me for the watch along on Sunday at 2:00. I'll be going live about 1:30. So make sure you're joining me then. Yeah, but I'm going to be on the Sam Show now, so make sure you tune over to me on the Sam Show. Big up, peeps. See you soon. Much love to everyone. Yeah, big up, guys. I'll see you later.
Hey!